Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking, defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy BVO Boxing. We back with another show, man. I don't know how this guy got here, but we got Just Ask Juan in the house. What's going on, Juan? How you feeling?
Ain't nothing much, man. You know, another day, another dollar. You know how it go.
Well, we got some of the brothers coming through. Man, we gotta talk about this, man. Now, they call Clarissa Shields the GWOAT. Is that because they don't want to give Alicia Baumgardner her fair due, or what would you say to that?
Um, I think it's because of the accomplishments since in a sense, if you think about it, I mean, three-time undisputed, has gone up in weight, fought, bigger fighters. Really, she's really not a big person either, so it's not like, it's not like she has an advantage in any kind of way in a lot of those fights. So it depends on who you talk to, because some people be like, Layla Ali is the greatest, and I'm not gonna go against it again.
Salute, TD. Salute. Go ahead. Go.
Uh,
Salute, Free.
Salute to everybody in the channel, in the chat and stuff also. But yeah, no, it's up to it's really up to the personal opinion. I really, like, again, if you would ask me, that makes her the greatest. I mean, if you really talk about it, three-time undisputed and undefeated right now, and then in the manner of fights, and on top of that, just not even on top of that, she's two-time an Olympic gold medalist. So it's really hard to go against her, her resume. But if you can find somebody else, then you can call them the GWOAT. Hey, listen, that's on you.
So you really think she's the GWOAT over Alicia Baumgardner, who fought the toughest competition to get undisputed?
I mean, again, BVO, like we said this before, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't know the names doesn't mean those fighters ain't the top of those at the top of the weight class. Again, so it's a weird situation because it happens a lot in a lot of the weight classes, because people will be like, oh well, I don't know the name. Just because you don't know the name doesn't mean he's not in the top of the weight class for a reason, or she's not in the top of the weight class for a reason. Again, it's a matter of situation on who you talking to. Now, for me, the greatest of all time, woman fighter of all time, is probably Layla Ali. But again, if you looking at her resume, it's hard to go against Clarissa.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I think Alicia Baumgardner is gonna go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time, man. And I just think if you say anything else, I think it's a little bit of a hate because Alicia Baumgardner came from nothing. She wasn't highly touted in the amateurs. And you notice I gotta do one. She's stopping stuff, bro. So
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I'm not gonna go against you on that. Like, again, like I told you, I'm not gonna go against you. I'm not gonna argue about it with anybody. It's y'all personal opinion. It's not, well, because she ain't do anything or something like that. Like, she's doing enough to be relevant in this sport, and it's on top of that, she's the best at what weight she's at right now. So it's not like,
yeah,
what I'm saying, she's not doing what
I
she
think
needs to
she
do.
might be the best ever though at 130. I mean, I've
Hey,
never
man.
seen nobody else be undisputed at 130.
Yeah, I mean, if the case may be that the crown may fit, let her wear it. You can't. I mean, again, you can't just. I don't know. It's in a matter of opinions, because you can be like, LeBron's the greatest, but then we got the '90s kids be like the '90s and the '80s and the '70s be like, yo, well, Jordan's the greatest. So you can't really be like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own opinion at that point.
I'll just say this one. I think if you going against Alicia Baumgardner, You only saying it because she's a black woman and you don't want to give a black woman the accolades. It is what it is.
Crazy work.
It is what it is, bro.
That's insane.
I hate to take it there,
It's
but
crazy work. It's crazy
she's
work.
one of the greatest fighters I ever seen with my own eyes, bro.
Hey, man. Again, I'm not going to
Alicia
take away your
Alicia
opinion.
Baumgardner, bro. She's a monster, bro.
I'm
She's a
not taking
monster,
away your opinion, big dog. I'm not doing that. But
and
salute to everybody in
She ain't better than
Canada today.
she ain't better
Oh,
than Clarissa
hold
Shields.
on, Mark. Hold on, Mark. Juan is talking, brother. Hold on 1 second. We're gonna bring you in.
Everybody, I want to give everybody a salute. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, salute D Free, my guy,
Yo.
fellow, fellow Puerto Rican, Marky Dan, the fellow Islander. You know what I'm saying? My guy Prize, and of course, you can't forget Big Unk. You know what I'm saying? Crush the Legend. You know how it go. We about to have a good show tonight.
Man, shout out to my man Screenshot Shelton in the building. Salute to my man Screenshot. I'll say this. I think the thing that we all know is if they were the same weight, you can't tell me Clarissa Shields would even have a remote chance against Alicia Baumgardner. Alicia Baumgardner is probably the greatest woman fighter of all time. I'll put up there with Ann Wolfe, anybody you want. Amanda Serrano. There's a reason why Amanda Serrano don't want no Alicia Baumgardner work. I mean, call it what it is.
Listen, man. If in the words of D Free, you need to put that pipe down. But let's just
Hold on, man. You a wild
You
man.
need to put that pill down. Whatever
You a
you got
wild
there.
boy, man.
No,
You're talking crazy. Let me play something from my sponsors. We're gonna bring everybody back in here.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon everyday earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Shout out to Raycon. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget, we one of the only headphones that has a 48-hour battery. So let's not forget, we are the best headphones that they're making. Not Beats by Dre, not Sound Candy, not Skull Candy, not none of them clown places. Shout out to one of the greatest companies that God ever created, and that's Raycon. But back to what we were saying, and I'm gonna open this up to everybody. I think people are just giving Alicia Baumgardner the hate because she's light skinned. Clarissa Shields is dark skinned, so because she's dark skinned, I think that's why they're trying to push her up a little bit higher. But at the end of the day, Alicia Baumgardner has done everything you would want somebody to do, man. But go ahead, everybody. Everybody, give me your opinion.
yeah, I don't. Yeah. Me and know what you're talking about. Clarissa Shields is clearly the GWOAT when you talk about achievements.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alicia Baumgardner has never won a title outside of 130 pounds. So, like, I don't know how you could even say that. And then on top of the fact, you saying people don't like her because she's light skinned. I mean, you could say people don't like her because she's a drug cheat. I mean, she's failed a drug test before in the past. Well, hold on. You told me not to interrupt.
Sorry,
you,
my
big
bad.
dog. Yeah. Give me
My
1
bad.
second. Let me talk my spiel.
My
No,
bad.
like I mean, she's a drug. She failed a drug test. Like that's another reason people might not like she. But yeah, all that GWOAT stuff. Clarissa Shields is the GWOAT. Like I don't even think that should be a discussion. At least when we talk about this era. I mean, Alicia Baumgardner has never gone up to heavyweight. She's never even been up to 147 pounds. So yeah, I don't even know if there's like an argument or a discussion to even be had.
Anybody, it's open panel. Anybody go. If you got anything, pull up. Say what you got to say.
I don't know where BVO get this stuff from. Go ahead, I'll go after you.
I'm trying to figure out where he get that. Some Amanda Serrano don't want to fight Alicia Baumgardner. Alicia Baumgardner is the one that didn't step up to the plate. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about which one is the real GOAT. And you bring up Alicia Baumgardner, who's undisputed in one weight class. That's pretty much it. When we look at Clarissa Shields, like Juan said earlier, 2-time gold medalist. She's undisputed in 3 different weight classes. She cleared out every division that she was ever in. I mean, what more can you say? Now, I would say of this era, Clarissa Shields is the GWOAT because it's all based off of opinion. All this is opinion, is an opinion-based conversation. But me personally, I still got Layla Ali as one of the best fighters, one of the best women fighters of all time. But they are 2 different eras. So Clarissa Shields is definitely the GWOAT of this era. I mean, she's the most decorated women boxer of all time. I mean, nobody's done what she's done. So, I mean, it's a strong argument for Clarissa Shields to be the greatest women boxer of all times. I just feel that if they was to fight Layla Ali and Clarissa Shields, I just feel like Layla Ali would beat her. But, I mean, that we would never find out because they're 2 different eras. They would never get in the ring together, so we would never find out. But Alicia Baumgardner, she's not even more accomplished than Amanda Serrano. So I mean, if you wanted to put somebody else up here with Clarissa Shields that has an argument, I would have put Amanda Serrano up there. I wouldn't have had Alicia up there. I would have had Amanda Serrano.
She's never been undisputed.
Amanda Serrano has been undisputed. What are you talking about?
At what weight class?
Her last weight class, she was just
featherweight. She was undisputed at featherweight.
Yeah. Oh, she was. My bad. You're right. She was.
On top of being an 8th division champion, BVO.
Right. I'm like,
I don't know what. You know what's the crazy part about that is there's only like 2 fighters in history, man or female, to do that, and that's Pacquiao and her. So that's a crazy accomplishment on its own. So it's like I said earlier, it's an opinion. If you feel like Alicia Baumgardner is the GOAT, then hey, listen, man, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? If D3 feel like Layla Ali or whoever is the GOAT, then that's on him. It's really a basis of opinion.
No, my brother Juan, no. Because at the same time, when you have an opinion and you state it publicly, you have to defend it. And you have to use logic and facts to defend it. There is no logic to why you would have Alicia Baumgardner over Clarissa Shields at all whatsoever. D3 just broke it down. The one accomplishment she has is undisputed. Clarissa Shields has done that 2 times.
Hold on, my island brother. He might have one. We don't know. He might have one. I don't know if he might have one.
I ain't hearing it. I'm not hearing it.
Let him cook. You know what I'm saying? Let me cook.
Let me cook. But I agree with Marky Dan. I don't even know how this is even open for discussion with the stuff that Clarissa Shields did. I mean, 2-time gold medalist, undisputed multiple times, and now the current heavyweight champion. Like, I don't know what she more to do. She had blonde hair and blue eyes, maybe singing a different tune.
Nah, this dude is wild for that.
Yeah, he can put all that goofy stuff up there, and he know the truth. He know the real truth.
I mean,
this dude be wild, bro.
I'll just say this because you're my brother, man, and I love my brother, man. So I'm not gonna go at him. That's what they want us to do. I'm not gonna do that. The wild part about it is this: when you see talent, it's amazing how no one wants to give Black women their just due. I like how you guys want to put Amanda Serrano ahead of Alicia Baumgardner. I think it's a joke. I just don't understand why whenever we try to highlight a Black woman's greatness, you guys got to come with somebody who's non-Black and say that they're better. I just think it's crazy. And it's just one of the craziest things I ever heard because Alicia Baumgardner has done her work in the ring. She hasn't done no big talking. She's done her stuff in the ring. She called out Clarissa. Clarissa didn't want it. It is what it is. I mean, what do you want her to do? We would have fought Clarissa at 147. She didn't want it.
I mean,
You're tweaking.
The only thing I could see that where you could start an argument for her to be, the greatest of all time is if she goes up, and if she doesn't go up now, it's like at this point, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You're 30 something. I'm pretty sure she's 30 something. What are you waiting for? You want to be in those discussions? What are you waiting for?
I'm gonna tell you guys something, and this is just my opinion, and we all know BVO is down with the Browns, so I don't want my Brown brother to take this anyway.
Are you?
One of the biggest scams that ever happened was when they decided to stop saying black power to black excellence. Because just because someone's saying black power doesn't mean that they're racist, doesn't mean that they're someone who doesn't care about other races. All I'm saying is this: what this black woman is doing is amazing, and I think it's just sad that you got people who want to marginalize her. You want to bring up everybody, give every reason why a black woman can't be the best, and it's just sickening. And I just got to call it out for what it is. Alicia Baumgardner is one of the greatest fighters that ever lived. She's proved it. She's went out and sold Little Caesars Arena. These are things that even Clarissa Shields hasn't done. So we gotta give her credit, man. We gotta give her credit.
I feel
I mean,
like
let's give credit where credit is due. I mean,
Mhm.
we can look at Clarissa record. She's 16-0. Out of those 16 fights, only 7 of them had losses. The other 9 were undefeated fighters. Only 7 of them had losses.
Right.
So, I mean, she beat more undefeated fighters than Alicia Baumgardner. She beat more undefeated fighters. She beat more champions than Alicia Baumgardner.
I think she fought Franchon Cruz in her second fight.
Yes, she did, and
Yeah.
beat her.
Like, bruh,
And
what are
beat
we
her,
talking
yeah.
about?
And Franchon Cruz's earnings, she's pretty good at damn self.
And then just on top of that, you know, like we talking about this now, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know, I think how many fights was it in that she went and got undisputed in the first time? Was it like 4 or 5 fights?
Like 4 or 5 fights.
Yeah, so it's not like, you know, they not talking facts. All you can really say for Alicia is that she's
And
the only
Alicia
130-pounder, honestly.
Baumgardner got lost. She got lost.
Well, you know, the sickening thing is when you dare to be great, when you fight people like Michaela Mayer, who we just seen look unbeatable last week. She beat the brakes off Michaela Mayer.
I wouldn't say unbeatable. Lauren Price is
Marky,
about to put the hands on
Actually, she fought her in her first fight. Her debut.
Hold on. Don't interrupt each other. Don't interrupt each other.
I was about to say she fought Franchise Cruz her first fight, her debut.
Yep.
Yeah, that was her first fight. Yep. So I mean, shout out to TD Sports. He said, let me read this. Let me read this comment real quick. Shout out to my man TD Sports, sending some love to himself. He said, BVO got great nerve. You say how you put Alicia Baumgardner over Amanda Serrano, but you put Emiliano over Cleveland hometown fighter Abdullah Mason. You a wild boy. Well, you sound like BVO when you say you're a wild boy. That's how BVO talks. I don't go down to the bodega and try to talk like you. So stop talking like BVO.
Answer the
That's all I
question.
say.
Answer the man. Respond to the
hold
man's.
up,
Respond to his
BVO.
question.
You gotta respond to his question because
You just danced all around that.
He cooking you
He
from
just
the
cooked
chat.
you.
Hold on, I thought we was all on the same team. We talking
We are
about
on
we
the
on the
same
same
team.
thing.
He
We
just
on the same
disagree with
team.
you. Teammates argue sometimes. We disagree. Agree to disagree.
Hey, he part of the family as well. He clicking you from the chat.
He said,
At the end of the day,
You out of
Emiliano
order.
Vargas is a monster.
He said
It's
you
just
out of
like
order.
it just you know what this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. When Emiliano, I'll put it like this: when Brian Norman Jr. beats Boots, I can't wait to have him and my brother beat Norman Senior, and we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate when he beats Boots, and when Emiliano stops Abdullah Mason, we're gonna celebrate then too.
Yeah, all
I
right.
mean, it is what it is. We're gonna celebrate.
What do Brian Norman and Boots have to do with
That
the
was
situation?
crazy.
But it is what it is.
hold on. Let my man cook, bro. I think he's
This
coming up with let my
the
man
thing.
cook.
This the craziest part about this. The craziest thing is we don't want to give people they just due, and I think it's wrong in boxing not to give Alicia Baumgardner her just due. The whole thing with the fake drug test, y'all get me with this. It's crazy, man.
Well, she got her just due, but she's just not better than Clarissa. She can get her just due, and we can say she's not better than Clarissa. You the one asked the question, who's the real GWOAT? You put the question up, so we giving our opinion who we believe is the real GWOAT. So when you ask
the so-called GWOAT, Clarissa Shields
no,
wouldn't come to 47.
But listen, when you ask that question and you put 2 people up here, you have to kind of make the other one look worse than the one that you're going for. Not saying she's a bad person or she's a bad fighter, but she's just not as good as the other one.
And that's okay too, Free. And that's
what
okay.
happens. When you got Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hitman Hearns, you got to put one of them as the worst fight. I mean, the worst fighter. You can't put both of them as the best fighter because one of them is better than the other one. When you got Hagler versus Hearns, you got to say one of them is better than the other one. So it is what it is. They both good fighters, but one of them is better than the other one. You asked the question, who's the real GWOAT? Well, we got to go to the resume. We got to go to the level of fighters that they have fought in the same ring. So when we do that, you gotta tear one down a little bit. We're not tearing down her accomplishment, but we gotta tear down a little bit of what she was up against compared to what the other one was up against. Because they both fought good fights. They both accomplished great things in their career, but one just accomplished more in her career than the other one did.
Well, my one question would be this: who has Clarissa Shields beat that's better than Michaela Mayer?
Savannah Marshall.
I was about to say the same thing.
I mean, nobody
close.
agrees with. I feel like I know I can speak for myself. I feel
Salute
like Clarissa's
Ernest, my brothers in the house.
GWOAT. Yeah, salute Ernest. Salute
and my bad. Hold on, I'm being rude. Shout out, man, to one of my favorite Puerto Ricans, man, TD Sports. Shout out to the angriest man alive, Crush. We got some good people. What you got for me, Tommy? I know you're fresh from the bodega. What's going on, brother?
That's so crazy.
You got my wife laughing here. I just came on real quick because you're a funny guy, man. I just want to go back. You saying how
you came out to hang with the Morenos?
You said how can anybody go against the sister in Alicia Baumgardner and pick Amanda over her? But when you go with Emiliano Vargas over your own hometown Cleveland hometown fighter Abdullah Mason. Can you explain how is it right in your situation, but it's wrong in the other situation as far as Amanda over Alicia? Because you're not making any sense. And yes, this I sound like sick Negro. You a wild boy, bro. You a wild boy, bro. That's it. That's all I had to say, man.
Well, I'll say this real quick. I don't know if you guys heard, but the man called me a nigga. I don't know why, but I'll say this. I'll say this.
What?
Y'all didn't hear Tommy call me a nigga, so I just thought that's
absolutely not.
Man, you got nigga.
You on one today.
Plant say nigga when he ain't said nigga. You hearing Tommy say nigga when he ain't said
nigga. We heard allegedly we heard Caleb Plant when he slapped and y'all could tell me if y'all heard this as well. Allegedly when he slapped Jamal, he called him nigga after he slapped him.
I'm gonna tell you this. So I didn't hear Thomas call you a nigga. But
BVO, you gotta stop cursing on the panel.
I'm gonna say I didn't hear Thomas call you a nigga, but I'm gonna say this, nigga, you tripping.
Oh, okay.
You a wild boy, bro.
Hey, Crush. Can you get these guys? These guys are going crazy. Where's the sergeant at?
He in his bag right now.
Crush. Do you hear these guys calling me nigga? I don't know. I think that's wrong, man.
I don't think Crush gonna get
salute to my man D1. It's my guy. We gonna D1. Me and Free William Old School, we're gonna come together next Thursday and we're gonna have an angry white man roll with the Punches podcast and we're gonna have some fun. But to respond to what you're saying is this. I get what you're doing. Tommy from the Bronx. You're trying to separate me and Abdullah Mason, and I'm not gonna let you do that. That's my brother. I think he's gonna do some great things in the sport. I just think Emiliano will hurt him. There's nothing wrong with thinking that, but I'm not gonna let you try to separate us, and that's what you've been doing for 400 years, trying to separate brothers, man. And I think it's wrong.
All right, in the words of these kids nowadays, stop the cat. Anyway, y'all you need to stop the cat because you know that man about to get hurt. Stop playing, man. Stop lying on this channel. Stop lying to the people. Stop lying to the fellow, content creator. Stop lying, man. You be lying.
Doghouse, man. We tell the truth in the doghouse, man. We tell the truth in the doghouse. And
the way
And we'll say-
you're saying it too, because you're gonna be like, you like real bad.
BVO got me over here in tears. I'm sweating and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all dudes is talking about. I mean, y'all let the man come on here and call me nigga. I mean, it
He
is what it
tweaking.
is.
Yo,
Tweaking
BBO,
right now.
why don't you come next week to the press conference next week? Alicia's gonna be there, bro. I'm gonna be at the press conference. When she's on the undercard of Amanda Serrano's Amanda Serrano's card. She's gonna be the undercard. Why don't you come through? I'll be there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a 6-hour drive, brother. That's a 6-hour drive. I think that's something might be worth coming out to see that though. That might actually
Hey
be worth
TD,
coming.
let me ask you a question, TD. They could the fight's at 2,300 tomorrow. They couldn't get no replacement for Keith to eat.
So what happened was, they were trying to get the opponent they originally had pulled out, and they were trying to get last minute opponents, but it just didn't fall through. It's tough when they
did it. I said no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
You're the worst. You're the freaking worst, bro.
That's trash.
Yo,
Go ahead.
bro,
What you
somebody
say now,
take that
TD?
button away.
You're the worst, bro.
They couldn't find no more food for him. You said.
No, they couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't find a replacement. So there's still some good fights on that card.
Yeah, can you still get some tickets?
I can't because I was going to get it through Keith Cologne's father, and he was selling tickets, but they're not selling because he's only selling.
I was about to say they fighting in Philly. They could have went and got Cool Boy, but he ducking lately, so I don't know.
Oh wow, Cool Boy is good. You know they cool. They tight. Him and Cool Boy are cool. They spar together and everything.
I know. I'm just saying, Cool Boy, but he been ducking lately, so I don't know.
Hey TD, you going to the fights tomorrow?
No, I'm not going to Philly for that. No, so I was going to go to the Boots fight next week, but I just got declined the credentials, so I feel a type of way. So I don't think I'm going to that either.
Yeah, I might go. I might just wait and go to that.
I'm going to go to the press conference next week for Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, and then I'll probably get tickets for that fight.
Real quick question. So how y'all see that going next week?
What Boots?
Yep. How y'all see y'all going? I want all y'all opinion.
I see Boots destroying him, putting him to bed, violently breaking his
Sound like
face.
BBO. Sound like BBO.
No, I don't, man. Go straight to hell, you racist. Let me finish what I'm saying. Yeah, I got Boots winning the fight.
He's so angry.
I never heard nobody say put the
like
bed to
racist,
BBO.
I know that. Yeah.
Well,
oh my God. I don't know what's going on today. Dub must have been somewhere setting up this live stream because these dudes are out of order today.
They out of order today.
Oh
They
my
out of
God.
order right
Oh
now.
my
crazy,
God.
I said that's crazy work.
It's a long
This is crazy.
Oh man, hold on. Let me start cooking the steak because Dub gonna take forever just to get something.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
well, let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this
Mr.
real quick.
Long-winded himself.
Oh, let me say this real quick, man.
If you were less talented, you'd be long-winded too.
Shout out to my man Dub right side. What's on your mind, Dub? How you feeling, man?
Man, you out of order tonight, man. I ain't
We
gonna
are
lie to you.
out of order.
I done been listening. I've been listening now. I just got to being able to jump on, but man, you talking crazy tonight. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. You got me.
Well,
hold on, real quick. You got me. Bro, you got me crying. Like I was crying when you said that. When you said Tommy call you a nigga, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, this is wild.
Oh,
I ain't
man.
mad at it. Shout out to my brother BVO.
Yo, he trying to set me up, bro. That's crazy, man. Then he gonna say, then I super chat myself, and he want to go and say, Tommy, showing love to himself.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
I heard it all.
Y'all some fools.
Y'all boys on
Y'all
one
got me
tonight.
crying, bro. Y'all got me crying so hard.
Yo, y'all some
Well
fools,
played,
man.
well played, BBO.
Hey, free. I'm like you, bro. I'm sweating too and everything, bro. I'm like,
Hey, to everybody that's watching, this is Comic Central this weekend. We'll get back to boxing. We'll get back to boxing tomorrow. It's Comic Central on Friday night tonight.
Yeah.
I love it though. Man, sometimes we need it, man. Sometimes we need it, man.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
hey, you know this funny thing? You
Just the
guys are
little
laughing.
things.
You guys are laughing at a non-black man call me nigga. That's crazy.
Hey, he didn't say
Crazy
that.
work.
Right. The man
Crazy
didn't say
work.
he didn't say none of that.
You called me a
None
nigga.
of that.
He didn't say none of
Oh
that.
my God.
Sports did not say
BVO, no, BVO remind me of that dude that just be looking for something to be mad at. He, what you say? I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to my dog. Oh, you better not have said nothing.
Hey, your brother's sick, man. The first thing he said was nigga, and then he went into his whole thing.
I gotta turn the fan on.
That was wild.
I gotta turn the fan on over here, baby.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm almost dying over here. Oh
No,
man.
we're not trying to get you canceled. We're not trying to get you canceled, man. We just want to make sure that you don't call black men niggas on the podcast. That's all.
You keep saying that. Oh my God, man.
This is
Y'all
out
too
of
much,
control,
man.
bro. This is
Y'all
out of
too-
control.
Hey, Tommy, you good with me, my brother? You good with me?
Yeah, TV, you good with me.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you
Man.
know-
I'm
you know-
not
you know
feeling
it's
well. I can hardly talk. I'm sick. I've been sick for like the last few days, and this is the
Yeah.
way I'm treated, man. Man, that's
We can tell that you sick. You calling black people niggas? We know we can tell you sick.
She don't be calling yourself black either.
Oh,
I thought you was the
Yeah.
Asiatic man. You was he the Asiatic black man. That's right, the Asiatic black
No,
man.
he's a
That's
racist
crazy.
man.
Hey, all I can say to you, Dub, I'll speak in your language. I'll beat you, bro. I'll beat you, bro. I'm speaking in your language right now, Dub. I'll beat you, bro.
Oh man, y'all too
You out
much
of order,
tonight.
man.
What?
You
Y'all
out
way
of
too
order
much
tonight. What?
No,
But
I don't know what's going on.
back to the question at hand. We're gonna go past with our sick friend TD Sports calling people niggas and stuff. We know he runs around with people that say call blacks monkeys and stuff. So we got to be careful, man, when we talk
Wait,
about
what?
TD Sports.
Yo, you out of
But
order.
I'll say this, man. Alicia Baumgardner is a good fighter. All jokes aside, Clarissa Shields might be probably one of the nastiest people you ever see as far as interviews, but she's done the work. She's done the work, and I hope to see Alicia Baumgardner and her fight at 154. I think that'll be a good fight. What do you guys think?
So we calling black women nasty now? That's what we're doing?
Oh no, we're not going back to this.
I ain't say that.
I don't know if they will ever fight. I don't know. Things happen, so people gain weight, people lose weight. You never know. They might get in the ring, but I'm still going to pick Clarissa until I see that Alicia Baumgardner has got some silly putty or some duct tape or something to clog up that daggone gas tank issue. She gonna have problems. She's gonna have problems. When she get past the 6th round, she's completely done. It's over and done with.
She's completely
Yeah,
done.
she burns out.
Salute, OG
I
Crush.
think,
What's happening?
yeah. Salute, crush the OG. I think Clarissa would stop her. I think it would be pretty embarrassing. Yeah, it's just really nothing to say. Like if that fight happened, it probably happened at 154 or 140, 148. Probably at a catch weight around there. Yeah. Not only do she not have the skills for Clarissa, it's like Free said, she don't have the gas tank. So I got Clarissa probably stopping her or embarrassing her. But outside of that, I mean, the fight is never gonna happen because Alicia Baumgardner is a clout chaser. She didn't want to fight the first time when she was saying Amanda's name. Clarissa's manager reached out, and no, it was just for show. So, yeah.
Wait,
I agree
1
with
second.
you, Mark.
1 second. Can I just want to make sure 2 things. So one, you saying that Alicia didn't want to fight with Clarissa Shields? Is that the first one?
Yeah.
No, that's incorrect because Clarissa lied. Clarissa said that she would meet her at 147, and then when Alicia said, "Yeah, I'll do 147," Clarissa said, "No, I'm not going down there. Meet me at 154."
I can only make
Well, Tommy, I don't know nothing about it back and forth. They might have had on Twitter or
I got the
media,
video
whatever.
to prove
I'm
it.
talking about.
Yeah, let each other get their stuff off. Let each other get y'all stuff off real quick, please.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I had another question. So go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, my bad.
No, finish. I'll go to the second question after.
No, I was just saying I'm going based off of a breakdown Clarissa Shields' manager gave to Fight Hype where he broke the whole situation down. So that's what I'm going off of. I'm not going off whatever the two of them might have said in the media.
Okay. My second question is did your accent change?
It's changed up for the show. I'll say that.
Okay, I thought I was really that sick. I could have sworn it would change.
Wow, and then you call him an island nigga. That's crazy.
Island nigga.
That's crazy.
Hey, TU Sports is a racist individual, man.
Oh, crazy.
Wow. On top of being a chopped cheese fanatic, you're racist, Tommy?
Nah.
Oh man.
Nah.
Oh man, y'all too much tonight.
I thought it was bugging. I was like, wait a minute. Marky Dan never talked like that before.
Oh, there you go with the laugh.
Hey man, you gotta turn your mic down, different. You gonna have to mute it down.
Free's mic is on the
Oh man. Hey, Thomas, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard him earlier today, I was the same way. I was like, hold on.
Yo, I'm fucking coughing up a lung here, man. Oh my God, I'm done.
He was on earlier. I was like, hold on. I'm hearing something different. I'm looking at the icons. I said, I know these people that's up here, but some just don't sound right. And I was like,
I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought it was my headphones the other night when I first heard it. I was like, wait, is my headphones broke? Hold on, what's going on with these things? I was like, nah, that's just his language. Okay, my fault.
Well, you know, you Yankees, man. You guys are racist, man. That's how the brother talks, man.
that's for real.
Picasso violated over here.
Tommy swallowed the Mitchell frog sandwich. Oh, Picasso.
Oh boy.
I mean, Picasso is part frog, part seahorse, so I don't want to hear nothing from him. Oh man, respectfully.
Hey, Picasso, all I say is this. One more word, you're taking your rice pudding, man. One more word, taking your rice pudding.
Oh, yeah, that's racist. Wow.
Oh, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
These are all jokes, ladies and gentlemen. These are all jokes.
But back to boxing, I'll say this. I think if we speaking about, Tommy from the Bronx, the brother's despicable. I can't believe the man just called Marky a island nigga. That's crazy.
You said back to boxing.
So this guy, I can't believe he called me a nigga, then he called me Mark Island nigga. That's
crazy. Go back to boxing.
We going back, but we got to point out what Team Sports is doing.
What I said about Boots Ennis was I feel like that since Stanley Jonas hasn't been active, I think Jerron Ennis is gonna go in there and it'd be fun for like a couple rounds, and then when it get later, probably like 9-10, he gonna be ready to go. That's how.
No, Stanley Jonas was active. Stanley Jonas was active. He fought in July last year.
Oh, that's right, he did. But yeah, that's the last year though. But okay, if you want to call that, if you want to call that active, that's fine. I feel like Jerron has had 2 tough fights with Karen in there, and he's gonna be ready to go. He's gonna be sharp. It's a unification. I know Crush and some of the other brothers got an earlier stoppage, but I feel like he like 9-10. He gonna be ready to go. And I'm talking about Stanley Jonas.
I will say this real quick though.
But that's cool. Y'all can
hear the
though.
news. I did hear the news that Andy Cruz and Top Rank have sent a title shot. I mean, not a title shot. Take that back. A fight offer to Abdullah Mason. And I think it'd be. Hold on, Free. What are you doing? I'm talking. I'm hearing that's what happened. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the actual factuals on it, but it looks like Andy Cruz has been moved up in the rankings. He's number 1 in the WBA. I believe they have him at number 8 in the WBO. So it's so much going on. I mean, I take that back. He's number 10 in the WBO. So it looks like they're trying to. It looks like Andy Cruz is trying to do his best to make a name for himself. And I think if he fights Abdullah Mason, that'd be a tough fight for him to win. Because one thing I didn't realize, Abdullah Mason is 5'8" with a 74-inch reach. A reach like that we haven't seen since like a Floyd.
No, he got the same
Terrence
dimensions
Crawford.
as Bud. He got the same dimensions as Bud.
That's what I said. A 74-inch reach. It's amazing to see a guy have that kind of frame. And I think Andy Cruz, if he can get this fight, I don't think he can win, because I would personally love to see Andy Cruz fight Lomachenko, where it'd be gold medalist versus gold medalist. You guys think about seeing Andy Cruz versus Lomachenko, or seeing him against Abdullah Mason? What you guys say?
No.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the Andy Cruz and Abdullah Mason. That was a fake account. That wasn't Andy Cruz's account.
Okay.
And Abdullah Mason came out and said, no, nobody's sent me an offer. So that was cap. I don't know who sent it, but that was cap.
Yeah. I felt like it was cap too, Free, because
let me finish one at a time. Let me finish.
I think because Andy Cruz is the number one contender right now in the WBC, and I mean, I don't know, maybe Eddie Hearn's trying to get Andy Cruz to fight Shakur, because it doesn't look like the Williams Zepeda. He said he agreed to the fight. They just waiting on the offer. They said they agreed. Oscar came out and said Zepeda want that fight. They like that fight, so they just waiting on an offer. So we'll see what happened with that. But Andy Cruz is the number one contender in the WBC. Williams Zepeda is now the number one contender in the WBA.
Oh,
so
shit.
If they don't make the Shakur Stevenson fight, they might make the Tank Davis fight. If Tank
Who's
Davis
that
gets
cussing
past
like that?
Lamar Roach.
My bad, Free. Somebody cussing like a goofball. Go ahead, my bad. Somebody cussing like crazy on here. Go ahead. I thought I heard that word.
Nobody said nothing.
Okay.
So they might make the Williams if Tank get past Lamont Roach, they might make the Williams Zepeda versus Tank. I don't know, because they now all of a sudden he's the number one contender in the WBA. At first he wasn't even in the ranking, so now they put him back as the number one contender. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What you got for me on that, Doug? What you got for me, Doug? And then we'll go to Crush.
Yeah, I like that fight. I like all those fights, man. I want to see Andy Cruz, man, like you said, an Olympian, but the man is 43. I ain't gonna say 43, but what is he? He probably I think he listed as 30. You can't trust them damn birth certificates. So,
no, you can't.
so all I'm saying, I say that respectfully to anybody from there, but we understand it. So. But I would love to see them fights, and I think he need to start mixing it up now, because
I'm in my kitchen.
Hold on, man, calm down.
Nah, my fault.
All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I want to see him and the Cruz mix it up with all these guys the same way I want to see you guys mix it up with each other. And if it came down and I had to make a choice, I think Andy Cruz gets stopped by Abdullah Mason. I do think he has a good chance, you know what I'm saying, against Lomachenko. If he's technically as young as he's supposed to be, if he's that, but I still question that as well. So.
They got him listed as 29, Dub, right side.
The man is all of 43, man.
Hey, what I do see, I see that they put Tevin Farmer as number 2 in the WBC.
You talking about Andy's 43?
No,
I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious.
How about
No,
go ahead, Crush. Give it. Hold on one second, y'all. Crush, give me your thoughts on it, man.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. I would like to see him see the Zepeda moved up. I guess I wouldn't mind seeing him and Lomachenko and Andy Cruz if I can't get anything better for Andy Cruz. But if Andy Cruz was to get in there with Abdullah Mason, he's getting stopped. And it's not going to take long. It'll be inside 7 rounds. Because Andy Cruz, he has the tendency and intention sometimes to get in there and get brave with his chin. Even though he uses defense, but I didn't see him get caught with shots that he could have got out the way with, because he want to be blunt and had something to prove. And see, that'd be the wrong thing against Abdullah Mason. I'm sitting here envisioning the fight. And he'll figure just because, you know, I'm an OG to him or whatever. You know how it be sometimes, Then the young buck gonna have to let him know, hey, I ain't the average young buck, OG. Now you're gonna have to deal with it come to pain. That's what it'd be.
Mm-hmm.
He'll stop him. I like Andy Cruz, but Abdullah Mason would stop him inside 7 rounds. Far as seeing Andy Cruz and Lomachenko, it's not a fight that I visualized or thought about seeing. It's not Andy Cruz is not someone I want to see Lomachenko fight as he's staying around. If Lomachenko's going to be around, he don't need to be fighting somebody just becoming a damn contender. He need to get in there with a Tank or a Keyshawn and Shakur and get his ass up on out of here and I pass the mic.
Only reason I thought about that fight first is because you would have gold medalists versus gold medalists. I thought that would be a good storyline.
You know, at the end of the day, I don't be worrying about that. It's man versus man. I don't care what they did in the amateurs or whatever they did. I want to know what they gonna do fight night. Ain't nobody no gold medal in fight night. They ain't fighting for no gold. They fighting for some money or they fighting for a belt. You see what I'm saying? If somebody fighting to put somebody's head on the stick, so all what they did back then ain't gonna matter. You see what I'm saying? That's past tense, and we can reminisce about that when their career's over. But on fight night, none of that's gonna matter. Somebody's getting beat up. Well, yeah, somebody's gonna get beat up in that fight.
So let me ask you this, TD Sports. I know you from going to the fights.
He left.
My mistake. So just an open question for anybody. We'll start with Dub on this one. So what do you guys think when you see the lightweight division so jam packed with talent? You got Abdullah Mason, you got my man. He left. Never mind. A lot of guys leaving too. But what you guys think about Abdullah Mason being at 135? Do you guys think he'll get a chance to challenge for any of those belts, or you think these guys are gonna try to keep playing? He's my little bro. Because he kind of made it clear to Shakur that, hey, you're not my brother. I will fight you. What do you guys think about him kind of being clear with Shakur Stevenson?
Well, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Go ahead, Free.
No, I was gonna say Abdullah Mason. He said he only got 5 brothers. All those other guys are not his brothers. He said there is no friends in the sport of boxing. He's the only friends I got is the ones that standing behind me. And he was talking about his 5 brothers. I mean, his 4 brothers. So they're gonna either have to fight him or they're gonna have to drop the belt if he's in position. Because he not looking at none of them as a brother or a friend that he can't fight. He's looking at all of them as a competitor, and he's trying to take what they got. So they either gonna fight or they're gonna give up the belt.
Go ahead, Duck.
No, I agree. And my whole thing, first thing, it's a good thing that we have the lightweight division so packed with young talent right now. That's a fantastic thing. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest divisions in the history of boxing is still packed with great talent, even though we got top tier talent at the top right now. Hey, they're gonna get ready to move. Well, some of them will move up, whatever happens. But it's a beautiful thing to see. And this is what we need. We need a continual influx of young talent at every division. We need these things. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Anybody can go hop in on that. What you guys got?
Yeah, and real quick, and then somebody can say something. Going back to what you said, and it's like it's different from 147 because you see how 147 was, but it's not loaded. It's just a couple fighters down there. And you made it clear with 135, and like you said, it's packed from top to bottom. From even when the upper guys get out the way or go to another weight class or whatever, even if all those guys go, you got a whole another stable of fighters from 1 to 15, and we get to start this all over again. And that's when I love. Get it done and bring the next chapter on. Stop with all this nonsense and this person asking for this person asking for that. Just give me a James Brown made a song. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Open up the door and I get it myself. So whatever you put on the table, I'm coming to get that. And after I get you out the way, I can get more. That's game for you young fighters. Listen to the OG. It would take you places. I'm telling you. Take you places, young fighters. Y'all listen. That's how I got it be. Anybody else, y'all can go ahead.
What you got on it, Juan?
Yeah, the division is loaded. I feel like, the separation from the champions And the rest of the fighters are kind of clear. Like right now, we would call Abdullah the contender. But besides that, I mean, I think eventually they're all gonna have to fight each other. It's not like we're gonna be sitting here waiting for them. Either they're gonna fight or somebody got to move up. So it's just a matter of time. Honestly, really, that's all it is.
And they can put some lovely matchups at 135 when we look at everything that's there. Like Dub said, he brought it to light. Look at all the young prospects. We talk about all the young prospects at 135. There's not too many prospects we don't mention. We talk about all those guys. You know what I'm saying? Mo, and we talk about all those guys. And of course, we're talking about the upper guys and even the guys that's in between, right in the middle. That's loaded. So these promoters, whatever y'all bet to get that thing cracking. It's so much down there, so they can get things rolling, and finally we get it undisputed again. You know what I mean? Because Devin is gone, so it's that reset. So it's up for grabs. So whoever want to go get it, and then whoever want to stay there and defend it or whatever, or you done did it, you want to move up or get out the way, keep it rolling, because that weight class. It's like a number 154, and we don't need the dumb goofiness in boxing to be slowing up. And real quick, to be slowing up and giving us more to keep on complaining about, because I don't really want to activate the moist meter for that situation in our past.
Let me ask you a quick question then. Right? So, like, how we sitting here talking about this 135 pound division and whatnot, right? So obviously, the top, contenders to you guys will obviously be Tank, Keyshawn, Shakur. I would say, I guess now Abdullah. And after that, who you would? Because I think for me, to tell you the truth, that's like the four. That's the four right now. If you were to be like, oh, William Zepeda, he kind of just up and down. Anybody with any kind of type of better skill and some better size than Tevin beats him easily. Then you got Morataya. I see some holes, but I don't see him beating anybody at the top four. And then after that gets kind of shady there, not that going down that way. Because then you got Carmel coming up, but Carmel, by the time he gets up there, they're gonna be gone. So how do you guys know who are the contenders for the belts? Because I know obviously Abdullah is, but after that it gets real shady after that.
Well, it really, we don't know. But what it come down to first, it come down to the ranking system, of course. But then the eye test. And I know my OG. Shout out to my OG, Crush the Legend in the building. He gonna tell me the eye test don't always mean everything. At the same time, the whole conversation as far as saying that the division is stacked, we're just going off of saying, hey man, these young guys coming up, they some dogs out here. You know what I'm saying? We seeing some dogs out here. So I don't know what we're gonna see from Carmel Moulton. I think he's fighting at 126 right now. So
he's 35.
Yeah, 35. Dog.
Is he fighting at 35?
Yeah, he at 35.
Okay. I don't know what we're gonna see from him, but at the end of the day, my whole thing is I'm just glad, man. I want to see him mix it up. Everybody need to be in there with each other. It shouldn't be no damn easy matches out here. Everybody should be mixing it up with each other.
Hey, but you're correct. You're correct. And what I'm asking is this, right? Besides those four, right?
Still got Frank Martin one.
Yeah, but Frank technically is going up to 40. I'm pretty sure he said it. But I can't remember.
Schofield. We gotta see what he gonna do.
Yeah, but then in reality, how many of you guys really have Schofield beating anybody up there?
I like Kid Austin.
It all depends on what happened on any given night. Because what we see from guys last night doesn't mean they're gonna do it next week. It all depends on what happened on any given night, because I would say most of us had Tank Davis beating Lamont Roach. We didn't think Lamont Roach was going to have such success with Tank Davis in that fight when he got in the ring with Tank Davis. We thought it was going to be a good fight, but we thought Tank Davis was going to end up getting him out of there in the later rounds. So anything can happen on any given night. You got a lot of guys. We still got De Los Santos down there. You still got Floyd Schofield. You still got Abdullah Mason.
Tevin Farmer's number 2.
You got Tevin Farmer in the WBC. You got Andy Cruz. You got Williams or Pater.
Body.
You still got a lot of guys that can still, when those top guys decide to move out of that division, you still got other guys that's going to be fighting. You got Raymond Muratalla. It's a lot of guys, and then there's a lot of guys that we don't know that will make some noise at some point because we're not seeing them, and we're not hearing about them. Doesn't mean that it ain't some other guy that's lurking in behind the scenes that's trying to wait for their opening to get in there and show what they got. So it's guys there. It's just a matter of what happens on that fight night, because you can say this person's going to be that person, this person's going to be that person, but when they get in the ring, it might play out totally different than what we expect, like we saw with the Lamont Roach and Tank. So it all depends on what happened on fight night, because all we doing is assuming what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen until the fight happens. We just assume what's going to happen.
We got Rayo and De Los Santos. Not Rayo, but is De Los Santos moving up?
No, De Los Santos.
De Los Santos about to fight.
Okay,
he about to fight Keyshawn.
Right. Yeah, okay, that's right. So he's still in the division. I'm looking at these names. Maxie Hughes, he's rated well. He's down there. I'm looking at names that I'm familiar with. Of course, we free set Mark Maxayo.
That's the thing I'm talking about. You looking at the names that you're familiar with. There's a lot of guys that might sneak up.
Like I'm not sure about.
I didn't see him coming out of nowhere.
I'm not sure about Sam Noix. Well, I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure about Alan Chavez.
We don't watch. We don't see because they not.
But most of these guys, I know Free. But if you go look at the list, you'll know most of these guys. You might not know about 5 or 6 of them out of all these guys. I don't.
But all right, so look, that was just the only question I always ask, because I was like,
nah, it's cool.
Like, because like the division. The division itself is healthy. I'm not saying the division is not healthy. I'm saying, 10 years down the line, it's going to be stacked. I'm saying it's still going to be forever stacked. I'm just saying right now, as of right now, from what we've seen, from the belt holders, I'm going to exclude Tank's performance from the last time. I'm going to be like, it's probably just an off night, whatever the case may have been. But if we talk about, right, those 4 belt holders, I don't even know who's the 4th belt holder at this point.
Lomachenko, Tank.
There you go.
Shakur and Keyshawn.
Right. So out of those 4 belt holders, who do you guys see are more willing to fight Abdullah? Because Abdullah's a real contender.
The one that's more willing to fight Abdullah?
Ain't none of them going to fight Abdullah.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
I'm gonna say. Yes, I can, because ain't nobody say I'll fight Abdullah.
Keyshawn ain't gonna fight him. Shakur ain't gonna fight him. Tank ain't gonna fight him, and I can tell you right now, Loma's gonna fight him either. Free.
No, Tank ain't gonna fight him. Tank gonna say, okay, what? Tank gonna look at him. He's gonna say, okay, he's a prospect. What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do for me? He ain't doing that. Like
they all gonna say that.
Exactly.
Yeah, they all gonna say that.
So it's I don't see anybody willingly getting in the ring with
anytime
with Abdullah
soon.
Mason right now. Abdullah Mason have to put himself in position for those guys to be able to fight him, because right now he's ranked number 7 and number 8 in the respectable sanctioning body. So he's not in position where these guys say, you know what, I'm gonna go fight this dude right here. No, he's making a name for himself, but right now he's still young. So they like, man, he doesn't do anything for me. They rather look at the guys like Edwin De Los Santos. They might look at Raymond Muratalla. They might look at Williams Apeda. They might even look at Andy Cruz before they look at Abdullah right now, because of Andy Cruz' 2 gold medals and what he did to Keyshawn in the amateurs. They might look at him before they look at Abdullah Mason right now because of, like I said, his amateur background. So I'm not saying anybody is willing to get in the ring with Abdullah Mason right now.
Wait, what's the name of the guy Abdullah's fighting tomorrow? Free?
What's
his name? I forgot his daggone name, man.
So you're saying basically he needs a selling point. That's what you're basically telling me. Like a selling point for him.
No, not even that. He just need to put himself in position, right? Like I said, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's fighting everybody that they put in front of him, and he's getting rid of them. Whether he goes to a decision and beat him unanimously, or he's knocking them out. He's getting rid of them. So he's doing the right thing. He's staying active, and he's keeping his face on TV. He's doing the right thing. So eventually he's going to be in position. I give him probably by the end of this year to be sometime in the middle of next year, he's going to be in position to fight one of these champions.
All right. I got another question for you guys.
I don't see him on the ranking list either.
I got another question for you guys, right? I wanted to put this in the group chat, but it's not, I didn't want to do that because I just get confused with all the numbers and stuff. But is Errol Spence a Hall of Famer to you guys?
No, nobody's a Hall of Famer right now. You're not a Hall of Famer.
No, if he was to retire today, is Errol Spence a Hall of Famer today?
In my opinion, I would say yes. But like I said, I don't know what the criteria is for Hall of Fame. So
there ain't one, D3.
I can't say who is. That's what I'm saying. So we don't know what the criteria is because so we can't say who's a Hall of Famer, who's not. Because like I said, I keep telling y'all, everybody said, oh no, he's undisputed, he's a Hall of Famer. Well, they got Corey Spinks and they got Jermaine Taylor, who's undisputed champions, and they never made it to the Hall of Fame. They never made it to the Hall of Fame, so I don't know what their criteria is.
Yeah, because I don't think there is one.
I mean, they have Costa Zoo in there, and Costa Zoo only fought in one weight class, so it's not.
And my thing is, I would think that Jermaine Taylor would make it to the Hall of Fame, just literally off of who he beat and who he defended his undisputed title against. He beat Bernard Hopkins and then defended it against Bernard Hopkins.
And don't forget, he won a belt at 68 at one point too. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't see. It's no set criteria on Hall of Fame. It's basically it basically goes off of who the writing associations or whoever's doing the vote. I don't know exactly who does the vote.
I heard
bogus free.
So from what I heard, is the criteria is, I guess, the number of belts he won, obviously. I guess a number of fights or whatever the case may have been, and then the names that you fought and an impact in the sport. I guess that's what
popularity vote, man.
In other words, it is a popularity vote. So
if you look at the names that he fought,
literally,
I'm asking you guys. I'm asking,
and that's what I said.
Crush, Prize, D3, Dub, and BVO. If you guys had a vote.
In my opinion, Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer because he was a unified champion. He beat a lot of the names that we know that people said was the big names. He beat Sean Porter. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat Carol Brook. He beat Yadanis Ugas. The only person he lost to was Bud, but he still fought him. He still fought him. It's on his resume. Because it's not a matter of how many wins you got. It's a matter of who you fought. Because if it goes by how many wins you got, I don't think Arturo Gatti should be in the Hall of Fame. He lost a lot of fights.
What you think, Dubs, Arsa?
Man, I don't understand the Hall of Fame. And because I don't understand it, I'm just gonna be honest. If it was up to me, I think EJ, absolutely, I think he's a Hall of Famer. The way he went and collected those belts one by one, did the heavy lifting. Hey, I gotta give him credit for it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Bud is a Hall of Famer, and that's the only person this man done lost to. So I think that EJ is definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, me too, Crush.
How about you, Crush?
Why wouldn't he be? And besides his accolades, he performed every time he got in the ring. What he came in the ring with that night against Crawford, he wanted to get laid out. So if Arturo Gatti is in a Hall of Fame just off of performance and getting his ass whipped, Errol Spence can just go in there alone because he only got his ass whipped once, but he whipped a whole lot of ass. You see what I'm saying? So of course he goes in there. And anybody that says he does, they out of pocket. And they don't know ish about boxing.
I can't
It's
say
some
I can't
wild-ass
say
names.
Bud. I don't know. I can't say
What's
Bud
the
don't know nothing about boxing. I can't say that.
Yeah, I
What
said what I
happened? Hold
said,
on,
man. I said
I
what I
understand.
said.
I understand exactly what you said.
what's the
Marky,
conversation?
Marky, if Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer in your book, in your personal opinion, Marky, not nobody else's, your personal opinion.
No,
Why do you say no?
because Corey Spink's in the Hall of Fame. So how can I say Earl Spence is a Hall of Famer?
Now,
Corey
now,
Spinks
I
was
now
undisputed.
now the opposition to that is you got to remember Costa Zoo is in the Hall of Fame, and Costa Zoo didn't fight a lot of names.
I mean, Costa
Yeah.
Azul, he put Zab Judah to sleep in 2 rounds. So I
That's
mean,
that's the
that's a
only
big thing
name.
on his
That's the
resume.
only name you have on that resume. That's the only name you have on that resume.
Did he
So you
beat
can't say that
Castillo?
he's
Did
he's the
he
Hall.
fight Jose Luis Castillo or no?
No, I don't
I
think he
think
did.
he
I don't
I
think he
think he
did.
might have.
I'm gonna pull Casazu up real quick.
He
Costa
starts
Azul,
him
he
off.
fought somebody else. He fought a 40
Yes.
pounder that stopped him.
But
It was a
do you
good.
understand? Do you understand how hard you thinking to see who he fought?
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And we just
Do you
rattled
understand
off.
how
We
hard
I
it
mean,
is
he
to see
fought.
who he fought?
and we just rattled off like
He
5-6 names off of Errol Spence's resume. Like that's not even. I'm not even, and I'm not
But
even going
that's
down to
because
Loris
of.
Bundu. I'm not going down to Loris Bundu. I'm not going down to Chris Algieri.
He's,
I'm not go. I can name names all day if you
he
want me
said
to.
Shelton said Costa Zoo lost to Ricky Hatton. Yeah, he fought
Yeah.
him. He lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, Earl Spence fought
That
Bud
was
Crawford. He lost,
No, he
but he
didn't
fought
fight
Bud
Castillo,
Crawford.
did he? No, he
No, he
didn't fight
didn't.
Castillo. He didn't
No,
fight. I'm
but
looking at
he
it.
fought. I remember he fought Chavez. He fought Shamba Mitchell. He fought
That was after Shambe had that knee injury, so that
what's
really
the
didn't
name
do
of
Yeah.
that?
much.
What's the name of that Cuban?
He fought Roger
That
Mayweather?
Cuban
Casamayor?
that what's the name of that Cuban Fernell
Casamayor?
knocked out?
Yeah, Casamayor.
He
No, no,
Casamayor?
no,
fought he
no.
f-
The
he
soft
fought
neck for
Roger
Hurtado.
Mayweather, dog. I ain't know that.
That boy was a good Cuban back at 140.
Costa
But I
Mayor.
mean, that's the one. That's the one we judging Costa. I think Costa get judged based on the 140-pound division at the time. If you want to say Earl Spence is a Hall of Famer, that's cool. I don't have him up there.
What's going on, A1? Was Costa Zoo a unified champion?
Yeah, he was
I believe so.
undisputed.
I believe. Yeah, he was
He was.
undisputed. I believe.
I don't remember him being
I
undisputed.
know
Yeah, I
he
think.
won. I know he
That
Listen,
won.
Zab
don't take
I
my
Judah
know he
word
fight
for
won
was
it.
at least.
undisputed. That's why Zab Judah was losing his mind.
He got a
he
couple.
won.
Zoo got he got a few names on here. Like you said, Charmaine Mitchell. He got Jesse Jane Lehi, Zab.
Yeah.
He got surprisingly Roger Mayweather.
See what
See, but
I'm
that's
gonna tell you what's
all.
funny. I'm gonna tell you what's funny because when I say somebody fought Sean Bay Mitchell, somebody was like, "Man, who was Sean Bay Mitchell? Who was Sean Bay
Yeah,
Mitchell?"
yeah, they
Shambe
bugging
was
out. They
nice,
bugging out.
When
man.
I mention Sean Bay Mitchell, people say, "Who's Sean Bay Mitchell?"
They
Yeah,
be
I
But
get
bugging out.
riled
I'm
up
talking
for
about
that too.
Costa
All I
See,
Zoo.
know Shamba Mitchell for
Shambe
is
was
that being
nice, man.
that's Mayweather's first fight at
I know he
147. That's
was.
all I know
I know he
Shamba
was, but
for.
people
and
look
they
at me
was
like
and
I'm
Marky and
crazy.
they was screaming, "Whoop that trick!"
Nah,
when they fought.
listen, Shambe
That
before the
was a
knee
good.
injury, before the knee
Shambe
injury,
was nice.
Shambe was
Yeah, he was
disgusting.
all right,
Shambe was nice. Shambe had
and he
them
fought
hands.
Nice.
everybody, bro. He fought literally everybody.
He was nice, man. He was nice.
Shambe was nice. Yeah, I remember Shambe going up. That man was
He
nice.
was nice.
Yeah, I used to like Charmaine Mitchell back in the day.
But
He
nah,
fought
like I
Lavander
said,
Johnson. I mean, he got a
it's
nice
kind of
resume, bro.
like I said, for me, it's kind of hard to say he's not a Hall of Famer because if you say he's not a Hall of Famer because you felt he didn't fight enough people, I mean, so you only giving Bud a Hall of Fame based off of his accolades?
Say that again. What?
So if you said
All right,
Earl
man. Take it
Spence,
easy, okay?
if you saying
Oh
Earl
Lord.
Spence is not a Hall of Famer because he hasn't fought enough names. He hasn't fought enough names. He was a unified champion, but he hasn't fought enough names. Are you saying Bud Crawford is a Hall of Famer solely off of his accolades?
Facts. He was his
Well,
dude before that injury.
I say it's the accolades on top of the performance in the ring.
Mm.
I mean, only one fighter in the only 3 fighters in the 4 belt era could say that he's been undisputed at 2 weight classes. So that's a huge thing in his record. I mean, 11 straight knockouts at welterweight. Um, yeah. And then we got to see what he's gonna do in this Canelo fight. So I mean, Bud, he got a lot of Hall of Fame worthy accomplishments. Earl, I don't know. It's tough. I do got to give Earl credit because he did, outside of Bud Crawford, he did clean out that era of 147 pounds. He did beat all those guys. So I do have to give him that credit. I mean, he might be a Hall of Fame. In my book, he's borderline. He's borderline. I give him that.
The lioness Bella said he is not a Hall of Fame.
I'm not. She didn't say. I don't think she said that. I don't see
Man,
that.
I'm reading the chat.
Hey, hold on. What I will say, you do realize.
No, I retract that. She said Bud believes EJ.
There we go. I was just gonna say. I think you out of order. I wouldn't have to say it.
I'm out of order.
Time out. No, you do realize Earl Spence had 11 straight knockouts too at welterweight.
At the championship level.
He had 11 straight knockouts.
I think did it stop after the Kell Brook fight, didn't it?
Yeah, it stopped right after the Kell Brook fight.
So look at I mean, it's hard, but I feel like for me, when you talk about Errol Spence, we talking about somebody that fought everybody at their best, except for Kell Brook, if that's the personal opinion. But if you look at it, he fought everybody at their best. Maybe not Danny, but like again, everybody at their best.
Man, Danny ran from him, man.
Exactly.
Hold on. Hey, real quick, shout out to my sister Bella. Bella, how you gonna say EJ didn't do the heavy lifting?
He definitely did.
That man literally when he collected all the belts.
He was holding on to all of those.
Outside the one Bud had.
And
if you want to say stalled Bud out, something like that, okay, I can go with that. But that man still did the heavy lifting as far as collecting the belts. He did that at 47.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Oh, come on, man.
Get her up here, yo. She be
Nah.
Hey, the link in the
It's all based to your opinion. It's all based on your opinion.
Yeah, because
I'm just saying.
When you say like what Shelton said, he said how many Hall of Fame fighters did Earl Spence fight? How many Hall of Fame fighters did Bud fight?
Think about it. If you're really thinking about it, really think about it.
Because some of the same names that he fought at 47 was the same guys that Earl fought at 47. So if we saying some of those guys are Hall of Famers, Bud get credit for them and Earl get credit for them.
All right, hold up, man.
I don't know what's the point of denigrating fighters, bro. Like,
wait a minute.
Bud best win right now is Errol Spence. That's his best win. What's the point of
denigrating? I would want him to be a Hall of Famer if I was Bud.
But we not denigrating nobody. We talking about Hall of Fame, the right side. So we piling up accomplishments, what they done.
What
we having a conversation.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. I think what Terrence Crawford is doing is disingenuous. I think it's sad that for the guy who did everything he could to make the fight, I never thought I would see this. Like, Bud is really just, pooping on Errol Spence, and it's like, what has Errol done, man? Did he say something to you? I mean, what are these guys doing? They going on tours.
He stole his grandma's
let me finish real quick. They going on these tours. Hold on, let me finish. They going on these tours doing nothing but like just pooping on Errol. And then you got Bud's silly little fans, as my man Bernie told CDK, silly mofos on here talking about, Bud is this man. He beat Victor Postile to become undisputed at 140.
No,
Can we stop the games?
No, he beat
Ndongo.
Sorry, Julius Ndongo to be the 140
couldn't even remember the dude's name.
Say it again.
No, I said you couldn't even remember the dude's name. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. And it's just, I guess for me, it's just sickening to see how he goes out of his way to dog Errol. And it's like, what has Errol done, man? What has Earl done to you that you keep talking about this man like a dog? It just shows you how insecure Bud is, and
What did Bud say?
But so
as he
Bud
said that
basically,
you can't put Earl in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, basically that's what he basically said because he said I forgot how it was, but he was like he really
We don't
didn't
gotta
fight
explain it
nobody.
verbatim, man.
My thing is, in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, they only put
You
3
got
guys
to
in
your
every
camera.
year.
I've never seen you on here before, Santos. I'll turn your
No,
camera on.
Cinto's good. Cinto's good. He good.
Oh, okay.
No, but see,
Yeah,
the
they
thing
only
is,
they
That's the
only
OG
put 3
right there.
fights.
That's the OG.
Okay.
see
Yeah,
the
salute.
thing is,
They only
I don't understand this.
well, damn.
You will want him to be in the Hall of Fame, so you can have that on a resume. That's what Floyd always big up. Look at how many champions I beat. He always gave the props to his opponent. He want people to say these guys were great guys because he wants to get the full credit of beating those guys. If you saying they nobody, how good of a boxer are we saying you are?
Hey,
That
but
doesn't make
you
any
heard
sense
him.
to me.
Hey, but you heard him before the fight, D Free. He said the people like to say that everybody I fought was nobodies. Well, after this fight, you're gonna be a nobody. So he said that.
They said they nobody because you saying they nobody.
Hey, real quick. Cinto's mic check real quick, bro.
Well, whether they somebody or nobody, I put hands on them.
Yeah.
Santo.
Hey, man, listen, before Santos cook.
Hold on. I just want to get a mic check from him. Huh?
Yeah, he good. Yeah.
Can y'all hear him?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Y'all can?
Yeah, I hear you.
Go ahead.
Hey,
OG.
I was
Now
just
let
gonna
him go.
say this
Santo.
real quick. He didn't say he said he didn't think Earl's career would get at this point would get him into the Hall of Fame. Now we got to remember something. He was saying that before he got the fight with Earl. He was saying if he didn't need Earl, he could retire and he would be in the Hall of Fame off of his accomplishments. He was saying that Earl couldn't do that. So I don't think he was trying to slight Earl in the fact of because he beat him. I think he was just speaking what he feels is facts to him. That's his opinion. And he did say that's his opinion after he made the statement. So, I mean, you know, and if you check with some of the other fighters from, you know, earlier eras and some of the old school fighters, they have a mix of, some of them are saying what Terrence is saying, and then some of them are saying the opposite. So, I mean, it's opinionated. We're not sure what's going to get these guys into the Hall. If you got undisputed multiple weight divisions, being a champion and things like that, and your record is pretty stellar, 9 times out of 10 you'll be in the Hall of Fame. But I think Earl did a great job. He unified, but he was in one division. Now, the only other person I know that, you know, I ain't gonna say the only other person, but I know Marvin Hagler only fought in one weight division, but I mean he did some damage, you know, for years. Now, the biggest fight Earl had, he lost. So, I mean, it's opinion. It's an opinion. We don't know. He may not be first ballot, but he probably get in my opinion. But we don't know. But I don't think Terrence is trying to slight him. I think he's just speaking what he feels is fact to him based on his knowledge of both his and Earl's accomplishments as well as other fighters.
Well, no, I mean, I agree with that to a certain extent. The only thing I disagree and is not what you said, is based off of what Buzz said. Me, in my opinion, he needed that fight with Earl in order to make it to the Hall of Fame. Because based off of his resume alone, he wasn't good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. His resume wasn't good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he was undisputed.
Hold on. Undisputed alone.
Hold up. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Then you can talk. Let me finish saying what I'm saying. Based off of his resume alone, it wasn't good enough for him to be into the Hall of Fame. Yes, he was undisputed. But like we just said, you got Corey Spinks, you got Jermaine Taylor. Jermaine Taylor beat Bernard Hopkins and defended against Bernard Hopkins. He's not in the Hall of Fame. So just because you're an undisputed champion doesn't mean you're going to get into the Hall of Fame. We got proof of 2 undisputed champions that's not in the Hall of Fame. So I'm just saying he needed that fight with Earl Spence to solidify his spot into the Hall of Fame. Because before that, I don't think he was a Hall of Famer.
And I think We all thinking too hard on it because everybody that's in the Hall of Fame is not undefeated, is not undisputed. Okay, we got a fictional character in the damn Hall of Fame, and we sitting up here talking about these fighters putting in damn work. Are you serious? We got a fictional character, and we sit here talking. I don't think he should get in there, and he shouldn't. Then we got a guy in there who was just notoriously known for getting his ass whipped. And we sitting here talking about if he shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame or not. Man, all y'all tripping. It ain't that damn deep. The getting it ain't even as serious as y'all making it. And that's just the facts of it. It's a popularity goddamn vote. Because if that was the case, there'd be a lot of fighters that would not be in the Hall of Fame. And none of these guys right now are Hall of Famers. So stop saying that. They're not Hall of Famers. The people that's retired and in the Hall of Fame, they are Hall of Famers. Stop saying that. Their careers are not over yet. Stop basing it off of what they're doing now because any fight can change the decision for them. Anytime. Their careers are not over yet. Pump the brakes. Can they be future Hall of Famers? Yes, but none of them that's still active are Hall of Famers. And I pass.
Well, you gotta understand. It ain't many fighters who are champions in multiple divisions, and we're talking about one guy who was a champion, who's been a champion now in 4 divisions, undisputed in 2 of them. Undefeated record so far. You're right. If they're active right now, they're not Hall of Fame. It is opinionated, and those of us on here talking about it, we don't get to vote on it. But the ones that get to vote on it in the years to come will have the say on who goes into the Hall of Fame or not. Also, if you have to ask yourself, if both of these guys never fight again, how do you see that? What's the ending story of their career?
Real quick, and I'll pass to Mike. They never fight again. Satisfied. I'd say overall, they both had great careers. They made accomplishments. They performed very well. Because that's one thing we got to add on to it. Their performance too. No matter who they got in the ring with, if they was in there with guys, and we know it was supposed to be a separation in level, both of them men did that. Bud even did that. The goddamn arrow on that night. Forget the excuses. And I'm an arrow man. So those things you have to take in place. So both of them, if they retire right now, they are the shit. Excuse my language, in my opinion. And they in my Hall of Fame because I don't even give a damn about their Hall of Fames because I think for myself. And I pass the mic.
Yeah, I think if both of them retire right now, I think both of them did well in their career. One did better than the other as far as accomplishments, but I think both of them did well in their career. I mean, you got to look at Earl fought everybody there was to fight at 47. He literally beat everybody there was to beat at 47 except for Bud Crawford. And like I said, it's not a bad thing that he lost to Bud Crawford because most people had Bud Crawford number 1 pound for pound. So if he lost to the number 1 guy, he was supposed to. He was the number 1 guy in a lot of people's mind. Bud was number 1 pound for pound. Earl was number 2 or number 3 in some people's opinion. So he was supposed to lose if you look at it that way because Bud was number 1. But either way, even if Bud would have lost to Earl, Bud lost to the best guy at the division. Bud had the 3 belts. He beat everybody else there was to beat. Bud beat some of the same guys that he beat as well. So it was the 2 best guys. Somebody got to lose. It's the same thing when we look at Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. The 2 best guys fought each other. One of them had to lose. Sugar Ray was the one that came out on top. But we didn't say that, oh, Hearns is not a Hall of Famer. No, Hearns continued on with his career, and he still fought some other guys. And I heard what you said about guys moving up and fighting and becoming multi-division champions. But you look at guys like Hagler. Hagler didn't move up. He fought everybody in his division. He became a Hall of Famer. He was never a undisputed champion, but he fought everybody there was to fight in his division. He
He
became a
was
Hall of
undisputed
Famer.
free.
He was undisputed.
Yeah, and he was, matter of fact, I think he might, yeah, he was the first 3-belt undisputed because he was the first one to don the IBF.
Who he lose to?
He lost to Sugar
Sugar
Ray.
Ray.
That's it. That's the only fighter he lost to.
Sugar Ray was
Yeah.
undisputed at 60?
No,
Yeah.
no. Sugar
No.
Ray was the challenger.
No,
Sugar Ray was the challenger.
no, Marvin dropped the BA and the IBF before he fought Sugar Ray.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say I know Sugar Ray wasn't undisputed at 60. But even still, like I said, the man he stayed at one division. He fought everybody there was to fight. He stayed at one division. He lost to Sugar Ray, somebody who moved up, similar to Earl. He lost to a guy that moved up to his division. So it's not far-fetched to say, you know what, Earl Spence might be a Hall of Famer. It's not far-fetched because we look at these other guys that fought a lot of guys. And if you go back, if you wasn't following boxing back then, if you look at people that Hagler fought, a lot of those guys are not going to jump off the page to you because you wasn't around to know about boxing back then. You only go by what people talked about. So some of these guys that you look on Hagler's resume, you be like, man, who was this guy? Who was that? It's the same thing like Sugar Ray Leonard. You look at Sugar Ray Leonard's resume and you be like, man, who was this guy? But if you was back then watching fight, you understood that these guys were good fighters. They just wasn't top name guys like Sugar Ray, Hagler, Duran, and Hearns. They wasn't top name guys like that, but they were good fighters and they beat him. He beat him.
Before Hagler even
Well,
got
let
up
me
to that.
let me say this real quick to
My
kind of
bad, go ahead,
change.
Freak.
Let me say this real quick to kind of change the subject just a little bit. There's been a lot of reports going on, a lot of misinformation around Turkey Sandwich. Recently, I was watching Turkey Sandwich was talking about his commitments in boxing, saying he's not sure if he wants to continue. On top of that, we also heard that the United States Justice Department has launched a full investigation on him and his organization. What do you guys think about a guy like Turkey possibly being investigated by the U.S. government? What do you guys
But
think?
before we go forward with that, BBO, you gotta put some paperwork on that when you come out with that. So is there actually an article on that?
Yeah, I'll pull it up. It's with the Wall Street Journal. Hold on one second.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, if he's doing something illegal, I hope he gets his day in court. Yeah, and good for him.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Is this? I gotta see this because I ain't heard. I follow politics. I follow news. I ain't seen none of this right here.
Hold on
I
one
don't
second.
know what's going on.
I don't think that holds a lot of weight because you don't get a person of the caliber of Dana White, who's running a $1 billion business in combat fighting, to partner up with. I mean, the people that he's partnering with, he's partnering with all the promoters in boxing. He's partnering with Dana White, and they're putting something together for boxing. I don't think any of that stuff I've been here. I don't think it holds any weight, man. Until I see some documentation saying the United States against this guy, I wouldn't even feed in it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna call in names, and I've had a lot of respect for this person. But when they be talking about that stuff, I click right off. Man, because it ain't holding no weight to me until I see the United States versus this man who doesn't have to face the courts. He's got a whole country that he can live in. Got plenty of money. He don't have to face it. He don't even have to come to these courts and worry about it. He don't have to worry about boxing. So to me, it don't hold any weight, man. I mean, shoot, I think all that stuff bogus, man.
With that being said, I think, like I said, we're here on the show to kind of talk about it. I'm not saying these are just allegedly, and these are, I guess you could call them rumors or whatever they want to do, because they report stuff all the time in the Wall Street Journal, and it's not always a direct quote, or I don't know. All I'm saying is something that's worth talking about when we're talking about a man bringing this kind of money to boxing. And one thing that was, and I know what you're speaking of, there was a show where he brought up about the hedge funds, and you got people using hedge funds hedge fund managers supposedly using the people's money to do these fights, which is very plausible because one thing I will say, we heard the Crown Prince say, "Hey, I'm not spending no money if it's not in the country." So I don't know what it is, but there's usually no way where you can see someone lose tens of millions of dollars and there be no repercussions for it, because you got people still saying Al Heyman is $900 million in debt, and it's already been documented. Those people forgave that debt. So I don't know. The way the zoners losing money, we've never seen nothing like it ever. We've never seen nothing like where they lose money year over year. I mean, at some point, we at least ask. It wouldn't be fair of us not to bring up what may be going on. But I'll pass the mic. Go ahead.
No,
I
I'm not
mean, they
saying
got
I'm not saying that you don't have to talk about it. I'm just saying that the
Go ahead,
person
Mark.
that we know that rings the bell about it the most on these airways, I can't listen to when they get to talk because they speaking from a biased tongue, and because they're not that person. I know them to love boxing, but it seems like here the past year and a half or two, they love they're being more in love with certain boxers.
But man, I ain't trying. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't forget who, and I don't know exactly who you're talking about. You know, you the OG still talk, but damn them, talk about the topic. I don't want to hear what they got to say.
yeah.
I'm not. They can talk about. I'm just gonna say this though. When it comes down, when you got folks dealing with multi-millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, or whatever, you best believe you've been whoever's trying to go in business with one another, they vetting each other. You can believe that. They vetting each other because there's a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of things that can affect the person who's innocent going into a deal. So it's going to be a lot of vetting going on. So we can talk about it, but I just want y'all. I don't want y'all to feed into that too much until you get some concrete evidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm getting at.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, so no, I was just gonna ask. You said that this is a story being reported by the Wall Street Journal. What exactly are the charges against him, or what are they trying, or are they probing him for? Well, there goes BVO. He left. I guess it was nothing. But if Turkey is doing some spoopy stuff, I hope it's exposed to the public, and yeah, I hope whoever is responsible is held to the fullest extent of the law. Good for them.
BVO, you ducking right, nigga? So you running? You running like
Yeah,
that?
BVO, like I can't, we can't even have a real discussion. You said it's charged. You said that he's being investigated, but what for?
No, I think, did he put up the clip? Or the
he didn't put nothing up.
He might. You know, BVO have that messed up internet, so he might be looking for it. He probably gonna be back.
Yeah.
I mean, we on his channel. He got to come back.
He got to.
Will he come back?
DP said he got the Barack Obama.
All I'm saying is in my opinion, it's pointless to talk about if I don't see any concrete evidence, any concrete. What you want me to say? He being investigated for what? What did he do? What did I got to see something, and I haven't seen nothing.
Not only that, I mean, the Saudis they dump.
Go. My fault, Mark. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say BVO saying that they losing $10 million and they not worried about the losses. I mean, they dump way more money into soccer. They lose so much money every single year. They paying Ronaldo right now. They paying Ronaldo $300 million a year, and that Saudi Super League over there is not bringing in nowhere close to that. So what you got to understand is these are like they're not even billionaires. These are oil people, so they don't even have to report all their wealth. Well, yeah, $10 million for a Terrence Crawford fight, that's nothing to them.
They trillionaires, huh?
Probably shit.
Yeah.
What you got?
Say it again.
I said, what you got? Yeah, I was saying, what you got?
Top the money they pouring into golf. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, BVO, Texas G backstage, BVO.
Yeah, man. Well, man, listen. we ain't gonna cook on that because we all know what's going on. We all know if it's true or not. So we ain't doing none of that stuff over here. We don't do that over here or anywhere on STN. We don't do that. So we ain't gonna do that. If he don't come back with new proof, we ain't bringing it back up. We gonna continue to talk about boxing among these great minds that's up on this panel, and also the great minds in the chat. Salute to everyone. Well, we was talking about 135, and pretty much we understand what's going on there. But the thing that we talk about, but we don't talk about, and I think we should talk about it more. We gonna watch this fight when it comes up. We gonna watch Ryan Garcia and Rolly. I'm anticipating to see the return of Devin Haney. I honestly am. Hopefully he got his mind right. So we need to talk about it.
Chris, I want to ask this question. I'm glad you brought that topic up. I believe Oscar De La Hoya came out and said that Devin is a shot fighter now. What's y'all thoughts on Devin being a shot fighter?
Well, go ahead, D-Free.
We don't know if he's a shot fighter. He hasn't fought.
Yeah,
can you say a guy shot and he hasn't got back in the ring? I mean, he didn't get knocked out. He got dropped a few times, but he didn't get knocked out. He fought all the way to the last bell, and I don't know if he's shot. We will have to see him in the ring. Now, if he gets in the ring and he looks like he's shot, then we got something to talk about. But right now, there's no evidence of him being shot.
So you agree with me that Oscar De La Hoya, this man is out of order?
Oscar's always out of order.
Most definitely.
That's what Oscar like to do. He like to throw shots at Bill.
Oscar,
Bill and Bernard have that kind of relationship.
Oscar
Oscar, his thongs be too tight. You already know his thongs be too tight. So,
he'd be upset, man, because he tried to order some titanium spatulas because he bent and broke all the gold ones, and they haven't sent you no titanium ones yet.
I'm just saying, don't get mad at me. This is what that man Oscar, he on his 50 or 60th birthday, he said he was going shopping for some new thongs. So don't get mad at me. That's what he said. He put it on Twitter.
And he took his transition wife with him. Ugh.
Hey, they got they got ongoing beef from the lawsuit and all that kind of stuff, man.
Transformers.
Don't forget, Bill and Devin was saying that Oscar owed him some money from that fight. I think
the Ryan Garcia fight.
I think it was either that fight or another fight. I think it had to be that fight. I'm sure they didn't get paid completely or something. So it's been going on. They've been beefing ever since then.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a separate beef from the lawsuit of the performance enhancement thing.
I think if anything, we have any questions, it gets answered May 4th. That's all. I mean, if he's shot, then whatever. But I think personally he's mentally strong, and he's gonna show out. I mean, again, it's not an easy opposition against Jose Ramirez. So I'm just excited to see the card, to see what he's gonna be bringing out. I want to see what Rolly and Ryan gonna do to each other.
That's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, it's just interesting, and like I said, we can't say what he is because we haven't seen it yet. It's what 2 weeks, a couple weeks away. Again, we gotta wait and see it. So
we're not too far away from it.
What I'm waiting to see, I'm waiting to see where they putting the venue at, because now they're having problems putting it in Times Square. They said they might have to go to an actual stadium. So I'm waiting to see where they putting the venue at.
Madison Square Garden. I hope they make it for Times Square. I hope they keep the venue. That would be just so dope for boxing to have it in such an iconic place. Like
they
I was
can't
talking
put it
to
in
Dub
Times
about
Square.
it. Like I was talking to Dub about it the other day. Like people are gonna be walking around. You're gonna be walking around with your kids. You're gonna be looking up at the big board. It might have anywhere from 2 million, or a couple 100,000 people walking through Times Square. Like it's just gonna be a big event, especially if one of them boys get put to sleep.
Marky Dan, they can't put it in Times Square. They don't have the resources to be able to put it there. That's why they trying to find another venue. So they can't. They don't have the police force to be on call like that to put it in Times Square. They will have to shut that portion of Times Square down. They're not going to be able to do that. Times Square is you got to remember this is on a Friday. This is a work day. And it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, middle of rush hour. They're not going to be able to do that. They only shut Times Square down one time a year, and that's for the big ball drop. That's the only time they ever shut Times Square down. They're not going to be able to do it.
And even that's at midnight.
I think if we're gonna be talking about realistic venues, it's gonna be in Madison Square. Why not? Again, it's the one of the meccas of the sport. Put it in the big room. I mean, it's gonna sell out. Put it in the big room at that point. Like it's just
it's a private
event. What I would say though about this whole event, and I know a lot of people are supporting Turkey Sandwich. I think this event really should be split up into 3 weeks worth of cards. I think you should put Rolly versus Ryan on a card. You should put the American Dream versus former unified champion Jose Ramirez on a card. And I think you should put Scumbag Tio versus Barbosa on a card, because what's going on with boxing is boxing has a problem of not having a schedule. So many times in boxing, you hear people who don't watch the sport say, I like boxing. I liked it back in Muhammad Ali's days or Mike Tyson's days. The problem that boxing is suffering from. So Turkey puts on this huge card that everybody loves to watch, everybody enjoys, 15 hours of boxing, but then next week we don't get nothing. Or we don't hear nothing for weeks. I think we need to cut these bigger cards up and make them kind of more palatable to the as they call them, casual fan, which I hate that word because we need all fans to make our sport big. And I just think if you had more of those smaller good cards, it makes boxing better. PBC has made a killing of giving you nice cards. Every card you get with PBC, it's usually it's gonna be overmatched sometimes if it's title shots, but what you usually get is a well-balanced card with guys you want to see and some recognizable faces. And I think boxing is going wrong with thinking we can go all or go home. It don't work that way. You have to have a schedule. And I think what Turkey's doing with Dana White is even worse, because you're not gonna get no top tier fighters to fight for no $200,000. That's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen. You can't. They've been boxing like this for 200 years since John L. Sullivan, man. You're not going to change the way boxing has been working. It never's going to change. It don't matter how much money you got. We seen the Zone say, hey, we got $1 trillion, we got $1 billion war chest. What happened? Nothing. We heard Jay-Z say, I'm coming to boxing. He's gone. We heard Triller say, we got Terrence Crawford. We're going to put a big show on them. They're halfway. They half dead. They putting on Instagram fighters and trainers now. So the thing we got to do in boxing is we got to be more realistic. I know people don't like the Al Heyman way, the slow but steady, but I think that and the way that Uncle Bob does it is perfect. Slow and steady, build these guys up, make them household names. I think I'm so excited to see what happens when PBC and Top Rank start working together more. It's going to change the whole sport because we need a schedule, man. All these stupid cards, it's making no sense. What you guys think about these big stupid cards that's really not making no sense for growing the sport? Anybody can answer. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't have a problem with big cards because that means we get to see big fights. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if you're saying that the problem is Turkey Al-Sheikh is putting on a big card and then he's not prioritizing a long-term schedule, I mean, you can say that about anybody in boxing. So I don't think that's just a Turkey problem. Like you said, though, now that Al and Bob are combining to try and combat the growth of TKO, who knows? Maybe this next what we got 8 months left in the year. Maybe it might be 9 to 8 months of nothing but cards back to back. Hopefully, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody got something?
I think the cards not being big, like you say, like being big cards is fine. Again, I think that weekend is gonna be big. You got that card. Then you have the Canelo card. Then you right after the day after it's the Inoue card. So it's a big weekend of fights. I think when in the perspective of where you putting it at, like you being like, well, it's not good to have all these big cards. Again, before this guy came in, we weren't getting all these fights like this. We wasn't getting all these fights. Remember, we were the fans that were asking, "Yo, get in this ring with these dudes." This just started happening 4 or 5 years ago, where these guys are all stepping and getting in the ring with each other. This is not. It's not gonna happen all the time, but it's happening now. So we should be appreciative of what we're getting.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Juan, but this is where I would disagree, and I do agree with the part as far as getting the fights. I ain't got no problem with that. But like BVO said, if you break this thing up, think about the opportunities you give other young fighters to be on the undercards of these fights. You know what I'm saying? Then we're also having it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we have three of the top fighters at the 140, 147 division. Then you got Canelo fighting. Then you got Inoue fighting all in 1 week. Imagine if you spread that out weekly, and you end up with a month and a half worth of fights.
But you gotta kind of look at it as in, right? Obviously, Ryan and Devin are signed to fight again in September. They're fighting again in September, right? So whoever's on the undercard is getting paid, because that rematch alone is a big thing.
But they
Then
could be
you have-
getting paid
hold-
on the
hold on.
other. They could be getting paid on the other undercards as well.
And hold on, let me cook. Listen, let me cook. So you have that card already set in stone already as it goes. Then you have Tio fighting Arnold Barboza. I think it's for one of their belts, right? You have that card. Now that top ranking PBC are gonna start working together. Who just won a belt at 140? Somebody please answer this to me real quick. Who just won the belt at 140?
Gary
Russell.
Russell.
Gary
Russell.
Russell. Now let's say if Tio would be like, all right, well, I'm gonna take this route. He takes that route. That's another big fight where other young fighters can get this opportunity. That's the only thing that you gotta think how they're gonna plan ahead of it. They're planning ahead of a lot of things. But it's not like this is just one big fight card. You gotta remember, May 5th is the biggest fight card of the year, half the time.
Well, let me say this real quick, Dub, before you go out, because I think I know where you're going on this. I think what you're saying is laughable, Juan, and you my brother. But what you're saying is absolutely crap, and that's the problem with hardcore fans, because all me and you gonna do is probably get a beer and watch the fight. People who really follow, who are what they call casual, they're gonna throw a fight party. They're gonna spend some money on some drinks. They're gonna spend some money on some what, and they're gonna have a good time. They're gonna make it an event. And I'm telling you, boxing not being a big event is hurting the whole sport. You can say what you want. People say what they want about Tank, but guess what? No matter what you say, Tank is bringing them out. Canelo is bringing them out. So cutting up these cards is what we got to do, because we don't want to see Tio, Devin Haney, Ryan all on the card. We want to see them fight each other. This is stupid. This is just like that whole, we're going to have Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua come on the card, and then they're going to say, I love you and I hope we get the fight. And then they still don't get the fight. So this is just teasing us for no reason. But I want to give Bella a chance to come in here, and then we're going to go back to my man right side. What's going on, Bella? We heard you capping about EJ. What's going on?
Oh, what's up, BVO? No cap, no cap. Just opinions, just opinions. But what were we were talking about? Here's my thing, right? Because you just talked about like Devin Haney, Ryan. All of them are on the same card, right? But they're not fighting each other. Well, isn't PBC doing the same thing? Charlo, Caleb Plant, they're about to be on the same card. Big fighters. They're not fighting each other. So this is things that, it's not just going on, I believe, with Turkey, but I think this is happening with different promotional companies. They want to have these guys on the card, but, maybe build up, fights for the future. So, yeah, I'm not, because we already know Devin Haney and Ryan, they are going to rematch at some point. But, yeah, I guess that's kind of maybe the formula now. And then I'm not really understanding the argument of big cards being stupid. I thought as boxing fans, like, we want like big fights, and we want.
When I say, I'm talking about it being top heavy. Let me say not stupid, baby, being a little too top heavy. That's what I'm saying.
So you would just prefer, like, say, okay, this Riyadh season card we just had, right? It had Better Be Bivol. It had Martin Bacoli, Joseph Parker. It had Zane Carbayel. Like, these are some, good fights. You're just saying you would just like to see these fights spread out amongst cards throughout the year rather than
Well, I
just
would
on
put
one
like this:
card?
what if we had a whole month or consecutive days of those fights? What I'm just saying, boxing needs to get a schedule. The reason the NFL is so exciting is because you got a schedule. You know who's going to play who, and you can kind of prepare for it. I feel like with boxing, they just, like you said, they just throwing guys together, and we seeing what sticks. And that whole card he did, which was I thought was one of the best cards. Just imagine that same card going through the whole month. I'm just saying, not just for us, but for the other fans trying to get into boxing, having a schedule saying, "Oh, I can watch boxing on this day. Oh, I can watch boxing on this weekend," and kind of give us something to look forward to. Because now we going back to what we was. Well, now we ain't got a big fight for a while.
But you
Because
gotta
But
understand
Well,
too.
well,
Fighters get hurt.
you gotta learn. You can Google boxing schedule, no matter what promoter it is, and it'll give you a whole rundown for several months,
Hmm.
weekend after weekend, of the bigger fights. Now, a lot of fights that we don't know about on these small promotions in local
mhm.
towns and cities are going on every week. Now, me personally, I feel like since Turkey's been in the process, we've been getting the fights we want to see. We've been getting more fights more consistently. He's put together more cards consistently than any individual promoter I know of. But then when Turkey's not promoting his fights, the individual promoters have their fights. So we've been there's a lot of boxing out there. Then some people are not following pro boxing. Then we got OTX. There's a lot of boxing been going on weekend after weekend. It's just because it's not a big name doesn't mean that it isn't boxing. And it'd be some good upcoming fighters on those cards. And I'm gonna tell you something with Turkey and
Oh, let him finish, Free. Let him finish, Free. He just talking slow. He got it. Let him get
yeah,
it out.
I'm gonna get this out. I'm gonna let y'all have it. I think Turkey has been very beneficial to boxing. I've been watching boxing for a long time, 57 going on 58 years old. And back in the day, fighters used to fight each other. And then they got to a point where they wasn't fighting each other. Now they're fighting each other again, and they're gonna be pressed to fight each other even more because the excuse for money is not gonna be there right now. With everybody coming together, a lot of people are afraid that with Dana White being involved, won't be any money in there. But Turkey is a fight fan. He want to see big fights, and he understand they got to get paid. So I don't think he's gonna let Dana fleece the business where the guys are not getting paid decently. I think we're going to be enjoying a good ride of boxing, and I'm going to sit back and like you said, I don't drink beer, but you said like these hardcore fight fans might have their beer or whatever. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Free.
No, I was about to say I think the reason why Turkey is able to put on so many cards is because of Oscar and Eddie. They lending their fighters over to Turkey because Eddie used to put on a card basically every weekend, but now Eddie's not putting on cards like that because he's letting Turkey put on all the cards. Same thing with Oscar. Oscar used to put cards on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night on the Zone. He's not putting on cards anymore because they letting Turkey put on all the cards.
I get what you're saying, but check this out. What I'm asking you guys to look at it as, because you made a good point about looking it up. The thing is, most people, because you from the older generation where people will look things up, people want things handed to them. And all I'm saying is for those fans, those Instagram fans, those TikTok fans, because those are the new Generation X, or those new early 20s, mid 20s fans that you want to get into the sport. I'm in my mid 30s. I'm already locked in. I'm saying to garner new fans to make more money for the sport, which makes the sport bigger. At some point, we gotta reach those younger fans. It can't, and it won't be by us saying, "Oh, you can look it up," because you're right. There is other fights, but that's because me and you are hardcores. But I'm saying boxing needs to have a schedule that's known, so people can follow the fights. One thing about Don King will put Julio Cesar Chavez on a fight with Mike Tyson. So I'm not saying supercars are not good. I'm just saying we got to have some type of schedule to where you can kind of get excited, get to know the guy, kind of follow him. And I think we don't have any more stories in boxing, and that's what's
I
killing us.
mean,
We
I
don't
mean,
got the stories.
I mean,
Go ahead.
if you're really talking about stories, right? What's the biggest story, right? Then Ryan Garcia beats Devin Haney. 2 days later, because that's what happened. 2 days later, he pops for Austrian. He gets suspended for a year. He comes back, fights Roddy Romero, wins against Roddy Romero. Same does Devin. Devin wins against Ramirez, and they settle their score in September. What more of a story do you want? What more of a story do you want? Now, on the case of scheduling and boxing, you don't know what happens to these boxers. They can get hurt, they can get sick, something can happen, somebody can pull out, pause. It happens. Stuff happens in the sport. So for you to be like, oh well, we need a set schedule. Yeah, you can have a set schedule of fight cards. We always have those. Pro Box has one at least every month, almost every 2 weeks. OTX, he just said it. They have one at least every week. There's plenty of fight cards where you can look at this guy. There's plenty of fight cards where you can find some. So I don't understand what's how hard is it to really find fight cards.
What you guys got on this? Go ahead.
Also, your like you said, your casual. You talking about the casual fans. The casual fans are only going to be paying attention to what's highly promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. So they don't need a fight schedule because what's highly promoted is what they're going to hear and see. And that's what they're going to follow. They can care less about the smaller promotional fights and the guys with lesser names. That's for guys and women like us who want to keep up with boxing. But I'm telling you, it's always been a schedule out there. I mean, it's always once these promoters have designated a date and a time and place for the fights, you can always Google it. It's always been that
Yeah,
way.
we no. Well, I do think a schedule would be nice. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want more casual fans, the big names have to fight each other, plain and simple. Like that's what it comes down to. That's the thing that we're always bitching and crying about. That's the thing that is always gonna bring more fans. The big names fighting each other. So I don't think
Yeah,
like, and while I hear BVO, because that's something I've also said in the past, like the NBA knows when they get the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference Finals. The NFL, we know when the Super Bowl's coming around. The problem is we don't know when our Super Bowl is. We don't know when our mega fights are supposed to happen, because they just out in the wind and we just up here talking. We just conjecturing.
yeah, but you know what? The UFC
I
has.
understand.
The UFC has.
I understand all that.
Go ahead.
Well,
Old
I'm
school.
gonna say I understand all that, but see the thing is, what like he said, people get hurt, people pull out of fights, and things happen. But that's what YouTube is for. YouTube is to keep the casuals upbeat with what's going on. YouTube, they go to YouTube to find out what fights is coming up. A casual only follows the name fighters that they know. They don't care who they fighting. They just want to see them fight. That's why they are called casuals. They don't care. They just want to see them fight. They're not following the sport of boxing on a regular basis. Once they see somebody that they know is fighting, they be like, okay, I'm gonna go watch him fight this weekend. If they see Tank Davis fighting, I'm gonna watch. They don't care who the opponent is. They just want to see Tank Davis fight. If Devin Haney fight, they don't care who the opponent is. They want to see Devin Haney fight. So it doesn't really matter to the casuals. We are the ones that looking for these big fights. The casuals don't care about these mega fights and none of that. As long as the fighter that they like is fighting, they're gonna watch it. Now, yeah, it makes for a higher view when it's two big names fighting, but the casuals still gonna watch if they want to watch it. They're not gonna watch if they don't want to watch. I don't care if it's Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather fighting. If they don't want to watch it, they're not gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna watch it because we die hard. They're not gonna watch it because they don't want to watch. I mean, if you go back to the great card, supposed to be the card of the century, they came out and said it did 340,000 pay-per-view buys worldwide. That's 340,000, but it was supposed to be the card of the century, and there was a lot of names on that card. The casuals didn't care about it. They didn't care about it. We were the one that cared about those fights. We cared about those names.
That's
So,
why he man mono. That's why he man mono, because he be talking specs. That's what it is right there.
but see, let me ask you guys this: does it help boxing to kind of have everything all over the place, or even having our pound for pound star Bud Cropper fighting once a year? Is that good for boxing? What do you guys think?
That's not good for boxing. But again, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know. We are all here just speculating. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Don't nobody know what's going on behind the scenes. It could be something happening. Yeah, you have a fight venue and you have a fight date, but then you won't have an opponent. So now you got to give up the fight date in the fight venue. So it's a matter of circumstances on what's happening in that time at that moment. So we can't dictate anything. Yes, we can demand the fights, but it's not like we're gonna get them. Casual example of Manny versus Pacquiao. I mean Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Casual examples. Like we've had so many examples of that for so many years now. It's we might as well have just gotten used to it now. So at this point, I don't know what else we could do, but just wait for fights.
I mean, even when we talk about fights, one thing that gets me, everybody's talking about this Bud Crawford versus Canelo fight, and I'm a Canelo fan. It's a cherry pick. What do you guys think about Canelo picking a cherry pick when he fights Terrence Crawford? What do you guys think?
Canelo didn't
It
pick
ain't
it.
nothing different. He's done it before.
Canelo never called Terrence Crawford out.
No, I'm not
That could
saying
have
he
been
did.
a
I'm just
cherry
saying,
pick.
but if he fights him, is what I'm saying.
No, it's not a cherry pick. When it come down to like height, length of arms and legs and stuff like that, those guys' size are pretty equivalent. It's just that Canelo's been fighting at a heavier weight here of late. The last few years, he's also always been a little bulky. Even when he fought Mayweather, he was a bigger guy overall if you go by thickness. But skills is a whole different thing. And if you got a guy that's he can nullify some of that stuff you're gonna do to the next opponent, and he can also absorb some of those punches that you give to your opponents. A Canelo, he never knocked Floyd down, never had him hurt or anything, and that was a young Canelo. Now he wasn't as experienced he was experienced, but he wasn't as knowledgeable as he is now. But at the same time, Terrence Crawford ain't no Johnny come lately. He's a very highly skilled fighter. So that's a very intriguing fight, in my opinion, skill for skill. As long as Terrence can take those punches, which I think he can, plus he's going to nullify some stuff, plus he's going to set some traps himself, I think we got to fight. I think it's going to be great. And it's great for boxing. Don't forget the great Sugar Ray Robinson went all the way up to light heavyweight. Would have won the fight if he didn't get dehydrated.
I mean, and one thing that always gives me, I respect what you're saying, old school, about the older fights, but the older fighters ran like crazy too. Sugar Ray Leonard, everybody talks about, he did not fight Marvin Hagler until he got to his 30s, and we all know
I said Sugar
how
Ray Robinson, bro.
I mean, I know, I'm not speaking just about Sugar. I'm talking about this in general. I'm saying everybody talks about the older generation as if it was better, but we seen Sugar Ray Leonard run from Aaron Pryor. He was scared to death of Aaron Pryor and never fought him. So, I mean, for
So the
me,
man has sent them a contract.
go ahead.
He sent them a contract. What are you talking about? Aaron Pryor wanted more money.
He ran from Aaron Pryor, man.
I mean, and when you talk about Hagler, Hagler was the fighter that was active. Sugar Ray Leonard came off a 3-year layoff.
No, what I'm saying is he waited till he got in his 30s to fight Hagler, because Hagler had been calling him out way before that. I get what you're saying, Free. Just because you said louder doesn't mean I don't know what you're saying. All I'm saying is this, is that he waited strategically to fight Hagler. He waited. He didn't want none. And I don't know why they don't talk about that.
Weight class. What are you talking about? He wasn't at the weight class. He was a 47-pound fighter.
But we hear all the time how this person should move up, that person should move. I just like how everybody romanticized the past and don't want to admit
He was too.
A lot of these guys
He was
be
too
ducking,
small,
man.
bro. He was too small. When he took some time off, he was able to put a little weight on and get a little bit bigger then. He was too small at the time. Hagler didn't, and at the time when Sugar Ray was at his height, at his peak at welterweight, Hagler wasn't getting those kind of money fights. Hagler had to win 40-something fights before he even got a championship fight.
He actually had to sue to get that championship fight.
The people wasn't buying to see him fight because he was just running through everybody, and he wasn't like a darling. See, Sugar Ray was a blue chipper, gold medalist, all that. Him and his attorney was booking his own fights. He didn't have he partnered with promoters. He always got money on his fights, but Hagler was in a different weight class, middle class. He was a middleweight, and he was running. He was just running through. I mean, everybody was dodging that dude. Everybody was dodging that dude. He was getting. He had to fight where he could. Then when he got that championship fight, then it changed everything for him.
But speaking of that, though, one thing I was wondering, what do you guys think if we do see? What do you think about the whole talk about David Benavidez not deserving a shot at Bivol? Do you guys think that's fair that they say he don't deserve a shot? What do you guys think?
He just got elevated to the regular champ as he's the champion of the WBC now.
But you got so many pundits and stars saying that he don't deserve a shot. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know about deserves a shot. I don't know about him not deserving a shot. I mean, he beat, probably arguably the third best light heavyweight, and then came and beat David Morrell. So it's not really up for discussion. I think he is up. If it's not a rematch with Beterbiev, then who else is it really worth fighting for Bivol? It's better.
You want to see that fight for a third time?
Obviously, if you're gonna he gave you the rematch, might as well give him the rematch. Obviously, he's gonna want to get the rematch. But I'm saying, if it's not that fight, then what other fight is there besides Benavidez?
I think he should fight. I think the main fight for Bivol really should be Canelo. I think he should give Canelo his lick back, man. Because I mean, we all know Canelo should have won that fight.
Canelo,
but they robbed him.
Canelo need to fight Benavidez.
Canelo didn't want the fight. Canelo didn't want the fight. The
man
said, "I come
if
down
Canelo
to your
want
weight
that fight,
class."
it'll be done.
Wait,
Yeah,
who
he
got
said, "I
robbed?
come down to your." He said, "I come down to your weight class and fight you." Canelo said, "No, I want to go to 75." He said, "Why? You fought for my belt. I want to fight for your belt."
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he sure did.
Yes, he
Canelo
did.
Canelo hadn't been trying to get that fight, man. And I mean, that really ain't anything to discuss. We all know that Benavidez, he don't want either one of them. He don't want to fight Benavidez either. So he might as well.
I mean, what is him beating Benavidez going to prove? He fought everybody. What was beating Benavidez prove at this point? I mean, honestly, please tell me
he
what.
wants to be a true champion. Right now, he wants to be. He wants to fight and show and prove. He wants legacy fights. He wants to prove that he is worthy of being a legacy fighter. He's a true warrior.
So let me ask.
And,
So let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this right quick, then. So what's the obviously the biggest win in 68. So what else is there for him for that 68? If that's the case, why not call out a Bivol and then be like, "Yo, calm down, and you want to fight for my belt? Calm down." You have more of an advantage doing that now. So what's the issue, BVO? Why can't he just be like, "Calm down"?
My question, and then also, yeah, my thing is too, when BVO asked, like, what does Canelo get out of beating Benavidez? Isn't Benavidez, he's like the next hungry lion at the division, right? Canelo's more kind of, older, and Benavidez is that the lion that's coming up. I'm not sure why that doesn't mean anything for Canelo when, Benavidez was there. They should have fought, but you could clearly see the WBC and Mauricio Suleiman basically protecting Canelo, and Benavidez not being able to get that fight. Benavidez, he beat guys at 68, and he's clearly, the way he's doing it, it's in, it's in great fashion. Why wouldn't what did Canelo get out of being, like, let's say, like a Berlanga, a Munguia, a John Ryder?
Because that's him fighting the next generation. That's him beating the next generation.
No.
When it's all
It was
said and
more.
done, hold on, let me say this. When it's all said and done, you could say Canelo Alvarez fought not only the guys of yesteryear, because he's almost like a boxing John Jones. He
Dog,
fought the old guys like Sugar Shane Mosley. He fought your guys Miguel Cotto, Floyd Joy Mayweather Jr., and then he came and fought the guys his age like Amir Khan, and then he went in there like crazy stuff and knocked out Kovalev, a monster. People forget Kovalev beat Andre Ward that first fight that they
no,
robbed
he
him
didn't.
of. They robbed him, but
Dog,
it is what it is. He went in there and slept Kovalev. That's huge. To sleep Kovalev.
hold on. Dog, you saying what does he get out of beating Benavidez? You just answered your own question.
What are you talking about?
Benavidez
You just
is
answered
way
it.
better than Berlanga and Munguia and John Ryder. What?
You just
I mean,
answered
he
your own
already beat
question.
the good young guys. I mean, if David
No, he
Benavidez
didn't.
wanted a shot, he should have fought Christian Mbili or somebody.
That
Dog,
Berlanga fight never should have happened. Berlanga should have never been in the ring with Canelo.
That's a
Period.
fact.
I agree.
That is a
McGee,
fact.
That's
McGee,
complete
I mean,
cap, man.
even if you give him Belanga, McGee shouldn't have never been in the ring with him. He had just came up from 160.
Mm-hmm.
That's true,
another.
but I can deal with Munguia way much better than Berlanga. I think
mean,
Munguia had put some work in before he got to 168. I hear what you're saying. I don't disagree with you totally, but I can deal with that a whole lot better than that Berlanga. Berlanga one of them, but man, Berlanga, man,
but you
that's
saying,
Hold on, you talking about you act like Edgar Berlinga's a bum, dog? Come on, bro.
I ain't saying he no bum,
Berlanga
but
is
he
a
ain't
bum.
work. He ain't everything that they tried. They built him up to be.
I bet you he'll stop Caleb Plant.
Fights, bro.
I bet you he'll stop Caleb Plant.
Wait.
He's stopping Caleb Plant.
No, he's not.
He's not going to beat Caleb.
No, he's not.
He's stopping Caleb Plant.
No, he's
Man,
not.
he's scared to death of Caleb Plant.
Hold
He's
on.
scared to death of Caleb Plant.
You got to be out your mind. We talking about Berlinga, man.
Man, I got
This Berlinga is smashing
I got
people,
sweet
man.
He ain't
hands.
learning enough.
Hold on, one at a time. We want to make sure we have a good listening for our people on playback game that's here in the Dub and BVO show. Shout out to the Sports Talk Network. Hold on. When I'm saying something, bro, hold on 1 second while I'm saying something. Shout out to the Sports Talk Network, man. You watching Dub Right Side, you watching BVO Boxing, man. We coming together having some fun, talking some boxing. And you know, one thing we got to bring up before we forget, man, shout out to our sponsor, Raycon. Shout out to the Breakfast Box. Shout out to our new sponsor, man. People don't know this. We about to get some love for my Smoothie King. So shout out to my uncle, man. He just got a brand new location right there in Fairlawn. We're gonna put a commercial together right there, the Smoothie King. So you're gonna be see the Smoothie King, and not my favorite Smoothie King from YouTube. I'm talking about the Smoothie King franchise. So we got some big things going on over here at BVO Boxing. So definitely tap in. But let me ask you guys this before we move on: what happens when Canelo beats the life out of Crawford? Will he get his credit or not? Will he not get his credit? What you guys think?
No, he's not getting no credit. But go back to what you said, dog, because you're not going to just gloss over the question that you asked. Dog, David Benavidez has literally beat everybody there was to beat at 68. The only people that was left for Canelo to fight was David Benavidez. That was the only person left. That was the only person left for David Benavidez to fight. You can't get around that. You want to sit here and gloss over the fact, because I understand you just said it at the beginning of your statement. You're a Canelo fan, so I understand why you gloss over it. But the man has literally fought everybody there was to fight at 68. The only person left was Canelo. The only person that was in Canelo's eyesight, that should have been in Canelo's eyesight, was David Benavidez to solidify him as the king of 168. That was it.
Don't forget that he never entered 168 until David Benavidez was suspended and stripped.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you talking about when he was on drugs?
No,
it was cocaine. It wasn't no enhancement drug. It was cocaine. He was just getting high.
Oh, my bad, OG. I'm sorry. Cocaine is something for the kids now. Okay, my bad. I didn't know cocaine was a good thing.
I'm just saying it's not a performance enhancer.
My bad, my bad. Okay, so when you don't feel nothing, like when John Jones had his toe broke, he was high as a kite. I like how people move the meter to make themselves stronger. The
And
man was on drugs.
actually, at that time, it wasn't nothing about him being on drugs when he lost his belt. It was him. He was overweight when he lost his belt.
Oh yeah, that was during
Yeah,
COVID.
overweight,
Are you talking? I'm
overweight.
talking about the first. I'm thinking about the
During
first
COVID.
time.
Yeah, that's when he was at, I believe, when he had just got to the weight class. But when he lost the belt the second time, when Canelo skipped over the weight class, and then he decided to come back down once David Benavidez lost his belt on the scale. Then he decided to come back down and fight for the WBC belt.
I mean,
That part. And don't forget
it's
about the
sad because
Clint
you know
Don't
what?
forget
When he
about the
goes in
Clint
there and
Bureau.
stops Bud, he's not gonna get no credit. That's the crazy part. Only person gets credit is Bud. That's sad.
Now he'll get
I mean,
if it depends on what kind of fashion he wins in against Bud. If he go in there and he sleeps Bud, no one else has slept Bud. I mean that's Bud is a legacy win fight to have. So
We seen Mean Machine put him on his pockets.
yeah, but he didn't sleep him though, did he? He ended up getting stopped
How did
himself.
that fight end?
Say it again, man.
You
Was
said,
that
how
you
did
that
it
said
end?
who said something?
that was Bella.
Bella said, how did
Oh,
it
what you say,
end?
Bella? I didn't hear what you said. My bad. Go again, Bella. Say it again.
Oh no, I just said, well, how did that fight end? No,
You talking when Terrence on his pockets?
No. When Terrence stopped, Mean Machine, I believe he stopped in the 9th round.
Oh, okay. I thought you talking about when he was on his pockets. He won. I mean, but he still was on his pockets. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, if he wins, he wins. If he loses, he loses. I think again, this is probably going to be the last couple years of him being around. He's not going to want to fight nobody. Tell you the truth, he's going to want to get the biggest.
Hold
payday.
on, Shell. We're not gonna do this, man. Canelo had a hamburger, and you want to try to come up here telling me he was on. The man had a bad hamburger, man. Stop the games, bro. He
So
went
he had a
somewhere,
bad hamburger.
had a bad hamburger, man.
So it's all right for Canelo to do it, but it's wrong for somebody else to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He had a bad burger. My behind. He had a whole loaded Angus.
The whole cow. He had the whole side of the cow.
He had the whole Angus, man.
Come on, OG. A bad hamburger should not make you a drug T, but okay.
I mean, his whole camp is full of drug cheats. I mean, it is what it is.
That's the Juice Crew, baby. The Juice Crew. You know what I mean?
I like the Juice Crew, man. Shout out to Big Daddy King. I like the Juice Crew.
And Cinnamon Red is the Big Daddy Kane of the Juice Crew.
Oh,
that's a fact.
Hold on. Y'all know he got the second best trainer in boxing, Eddie Reynoso, right?
Stop it.
I don't know about all that.
He's the provider of the juice. You're absolutely right.
That's Molly Mall.
Him and his
y'all going crazy talking about. Y'all really think Canelo did that on purpose? Seriously? Come on, y'all.
Yes, bro.
Hey, whether he did it on purpose or he did it on an accident, he popped dirty.
Man,
But they don't say that about Roy Jones when he popped dirty.
They talk about Roy popping dirt. They talk about Roy popping dirt, but you probably don't remember
he did.
When Canelo's body was developing, all of a sudden muscle. I mean, man, I he was posing and every man, dude. He been working. He was on those. It wasn't no beef. It was a strategized intake of a performance enhancement. That boy body changed like a summer gun.
But how was clenbuterol a drug when most football players use clenbuterol? Just a weight cut.
Same reason why the football players use it.
Just to cut a little bit of weight.
Yeah. So obviously he couldn't cut weight naturally, so he took some drugs to cut weight.
Mm-hmm. He tried to create a diet meat.
You know something funny, and one thing I don't know what happened to Dub. I think Dub must have found his kitchen or something. But I think we missing out on one big thing. What do you guys think about now in boxing, where you seeing guys say, "Oh, I want to retire early. I don't want to fight." Does it surprise you that Jarrell, what was his name? Big Baby Anderson, Jared Anderson was saying he wants to retire again. Did you guys hear him say that again? He said he wants to retire early still.
I mean, you saw it after his performance. If it's true, because I didn't see it, so I can't say. I'm not saying you lying. I'm not.
There was no fight hype.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I mean, we saw his actions at his last fight. He looked like he didn't want to be there. I mean, once they said he won the fight, the man got out of the ring. He didn't talk to nobody. He walked straight to the back. He ain't wait for his team or nothing. He walked straight to the back by himself.
Yeah,
He didn't want to be there. He wasn't listening to the corner or nothing. He looked like he did not want to be there. And I said that when we was calling the fight. I said, man, the man look like he don't want to be there. I don't know what's going on with him. He look like he don't want to be there.
That's wild. You got people saying that Eddie Reynoso is a steroid provider. That is nuts. Eddie Reynoso has a clean fight program. That's wild, man. OG, what you think about people saying Eddie Reynoso's the cheat? What you think about that, man?
I can't agree with all that. I can't say that Eddie is a cheat because I don't know if he played any part of what went on with Canelo or not. So I can't say that. I don't have any evidence of that. I'm not going to put that on him. But I know that we, as individuals, are responsible for whatever we intake. We allow, whatever input we put into our bodies. What we intake, what you eat is what you are, or what you drink is what you are. So no one has ever put a gun in my head and told me to eat something. So
and don't say the G word, bro. They'll take the video down. Don't say the G word. Say weapon though. Don't say the G word. They'll take the video down. Say weapon.
Which word did I say? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I think if we talking about cheats, he's had 3 cheats on his camp. So one time, you fool me. 2 times,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you got 3 cheats on your camp. So that's
Oscar.
It's actually 4.
Oh, my fault. 4. At that point, Nick. You know what? Let me not say nothing. I'm gonna let it be because he's just that man is cheating. That man's cheating. I'm not surprised. He's cheating.
I forgot about that. I'm about to recant my statement because I forgot about that. You're right.
They cheat. They all cheat, bro.
Yeah, I mean, dog, you got one dude saying it was the hamburger he ate. You got another dude saying it was the tea he drunk. I don't even know what the other 2 dudes said. They might have said it was the air they breathing or the water they was drinking. I don't know. But dog, one, okay, it was a mishap. 2, all right, I gotta start watching these dudes. 3 and 4, all right, man, I need to get rid of these dudes. They about to start looking at me differently.
Mm-hmm.
So
you know who it reminds me of? Remember Angel Herrera, the strength and conditioning coach that got caught with all the other fighters and stuff like that? He was a Conte. That reminds me of that. I was like, hey, he definitely part of that. They all honestly at this point, I'm not gonna be surprised on who pops because the game is it's filled with it. The game is filled with it, bro. They filled with a whole bunch of cheaters.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that people have been caught cheating because it's been happening ever since they started drug testing. It's been happening. You find people get caught cheating or get caught with dirty urine. I don't know. I don't want to say that they was purposely cheating, but I mean, it is what it is. They pop dirty. It's been happening since they started testing. Every year you find somebody that's going to pop dirty. Whether it's a top name fight or a lower name fight.
I remember when Zab Judah's last fight, the guy he fought, Cletus Sidian or whatever that dude's name was, he ended up popping dirty, and I ended up meeting him like at the time in New York because he was training in New York at the time, and I ended up meeting him. And I looked at him, I'm like, and I look at my friend, I'm like, bro, you cannot tell me he's not taking steroids because he looked huge, like if he was just like bodybuilding or something. And I'm like, bro, nah, ain't no way that you're not taking something. And then a couple months later, he ended up popping dirty for steroids. I'm like, oh, see, I called that. So it's not like, the sport's not filled with them. They're all over the place at this point. So it's I'm not gonna be surprised if, they did that one day, they tested every fighter and, let's say 20% of fighters pop dirty. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm trying to figure out how they able to get Povetkin on 10 years of being dirty. Did y'all knew about it and just let it go? Or y'all just now finding out about it? I'm trying to figure out how they can go back 10 years and say, yeah, he was dirty for 10 years. That sounds like it was something
they did a drug probe into that. Yeah, they did that a drug probe into that Russian agency. I think they knew about it and kept it quiet. But they ended up doing a drug probe and found out he was dirty.
That
10 years ago, and finally they suspended him, and he's not even fighting. Which is the
yeah,
craziness of boxing.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They had to know about it. You talking about 10 years ago? I'm like, no, for the last 10 years, I mean, they saying they don't know if this man was dirty every fight, but he was dirty at least a few fights. I'm like,
So that's why
yeah,
they're wiping away his wins, I think, for 10 years. They're supposed to be wiping away those wins for the past 10 years.
I know all I know is it's bad when when one fighter in the camp pops dirty. I know it's because now you got eyebrows looking at you and stuff like that. But then when you got a whole other like 3 fighters popping dirty, and then it's just like, well, it keeps happening, and then I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again. At this point, like, bro, just stop training, just because you're cursed. I don't know what it is with you that everybody pops dirty with you at this point.
Oh
So
wait,
it's
who's the other? Wait, oh, Michelle Rivera was with Reynoso.
mm-hmm.
Oh, because I'm like, who is the other fighter? Okay, so it was Michelle Rivera. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He's part of Juice Crew too, Bella. He's part of Juice Crew too.
yeah,
like
he popped dirty in a loss. He got whooped.
Yeah, Frank Martin whooped him. Yeah, I remember that fight. Yeah, that was a good fight.
It's bad because like I remember this interview that Andre Ward did, and he was like, I wouldn't want to believe it that Roy was on steroids when he went up to heavyweight. And I was like, and I go back and I look at the film, like, bro, he could have been. Like, he could have been, like, it could have been on steroids. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens. Like, I don't even know how to, like, be like, yo, these guys are not on steroids. Because a lot of these dudes, they took it. Like, he got popped for being dirty. So it's like, at this point, who hasn't? Who hasn't taken steroids? That's, like, the question of what we should be asking. Like, who hasn't taken steroids?
See, the thing is what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these supplements and drugs that these fighters are taking, a lot of times these supplements are legal until they do the study and they realize, okay, it enhanced their ability. So then they put it on the ban list. But these fighters are so used to taking it, they take it anyway. But they get a list of what's on the ban list. A lot of times they don't even read the ban list. They let their trainers or their strength and condition coach read it. A lot of times these fighters don't even read what's on the list. So they so used to taking these supplements and they still taking them and not realizing that this stuff is on the ban list now. And so they end up popping dirty.
Yeah, that's a true statement there. That is true.
I don't know. These guys, I don't know, bro. I think Boston's been dirty for years now, so it's just it's sad because it's a sport that I love, but it's been dirty for years now, so you gotta live with it. It's like steroids in baseball. I mean, everybody taking steroids at that point.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I ever really heard about steroids like that in sports was when the whole baseball. That's the first time I ever heard. Because when I thought of steroids, I've always thought of weightlifters. I never thought of actual football, baseball, basketball players or anything like that. It was always weightlifters. I always knew about weightlifters taking steroids and wrestlers taking steroids. When it came out in baseball, that joint was shocking because a lot of the people that I was rooting for, like Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, and Barry Bonds, and a couple of other guys, these dudes was popping. Well, Barry Bonds never popped dirty, but the other dudes, they popped dirty or they got called out in that whole raid. And Barry Bonds never popped dirty, but he still to this day he like, man, I ain't never take nothing. But they was like, no, how did you gain this much weight in this shorter period of time throughout your career? Like, this man went from wearing, I forgot what they said, but his hat size went from like a regular size hat to like 4 or 5 inches bigger within like a year span. I'm like, dang.
Okay.
Oh, big head dude.
Peanut head ad boy.
That man, rockhead.
He look like the Peanuts from Proud Family.
Hey.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say that 100% of boxers, or I think you say at least 98% of all athletes that are trying to perform at their highest peak, taking some form of supplements. But that doesn't mean that they're steroids. Steroid itself is something. It's a little bit different, but different supplements become, like somebody was saying a minute ago, once they find out what kind of enhancement it gives these athletes, then it may be put on a bans list. But we as regular folks, we call everything steroids if it's performance enhancing. But all those supplements don't have a form of steroids in them. It may be some other kind of assistance that it gives an athlete. Because I know many years ago, you could go into GNC and buy certain things to help you perform as far as working out. And if you read the ingredients, some of it has steroidal ingredients. Part of the ingredients is steroidal something back years ago. And all that stuff, when I saw that, I stayed away from that stuff. But it's
still
yeah, I believe that. But I just, if I read anything that said anything about steroidal anything, I stayed away from, because to me, if it's a form of steroids, it's steroids. But if it's a supplement of some other kind and it's not going to harm your body too much, or it's not going to be on the ban list or something like that, I can't knock it, But I've never been big on supplements anyway, because I don't even like aspirin. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I was the same way. That's why when I heard about it, they was talking about GNC has a lot of these stuff that has steroids or performance enhancing in it. And I was like, nah, I am not dealing with that. Yeah, I was like, I'm not dealing with nothing from GNC. I stopped because I used to go to GNC and get like the little muscle builder protein shakes. And then once I heard that, I was like, no, I'm not getting nothing from GNC. I just got to do it regularly. I just go ahead and lift weights and do my little sit-ups and push-ups, and I'll be straight.
Yeah.
I stayed away from all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy how much people put steroids on, but I don't know, man. I think to an extent, when it comes to steroids, you should be able to use steroids in every sport except, I believe, boxing, because you could really hurt somebody.
Nah,
But everywhere else,
you shouldn't use it in football.
I don't think you need to use steroids in no contact sport. Football, rugby, boxing, MMA, karate, wrestling, no contact sport, because you're hitting somebody. And if you're too strong, if you are already a strong individual and then you take something to make yourself even stronger or faster, because speed is power. So if you taking something to make yourself faster, that's creating more power. Then if you are already strong and you adding speed on top of that, man, you can literally injure somebody for life. Nah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a touchy subject for a lot of folks. So I don't know. But like I said, if it ain't nothing with contact, like D Free said, it ain't no contact sport, you can use it. Baseball, I don't really care. Like if you're using it for baseball, use it for baseball. If you're gonna use it for basketball, use it for basketball. Soccer, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. But
I mean, they're using it in basketball because you can't tell me that LeBron James ain't juicing, man.
He probably is.
He's on some type of, I'm sure he's using some kind of supplements to keep himself. And he's doing a whole lot of other stuff too, outside of supplements to help his body. But you got to understand, if you think about nature,
mm-hmm.
and when it comes down to sports or any other thing, me personally, when I see a athlete in a certain sport, I want to see the best of the best naturally. That's what I would like to see. who truly is winning off of God gifted talent and abilities of working hard and dedication. Now, if you think about it, animals, they're not out here going to the GNC store or going to pharmacies or going to a drug dealer. They going out there and they eat what they're supposed to eat. They're drinking water as they need it, and they're able to perform at their highest peak. You know, some are better than others at it. And that's the way I would like to see athletes, you know, perform all natural, man. You know, to get all that bull crap, you know, eat. If we as humans ate the way we were supposed to eat, man, we wouldn't have as much cancer going around, wouldn't have as much diabetes and high blood pressure and all that stuff. Now, of course, over here in this country, they're killing us because they selling us all that stuff, putting it all in the food, you know. But at the same time, you got to watch what you put in your body. And I'm not the healthiest person. I'm not saying it, but because we're at a big disadvantage over here in the United States, in my opinion. But at the same time, when I go to other countries, I see how the markets sell their food and stuff like that. Man, it's a lot of the food is fresh, and they might even have flies in the store, you know. But it's fresh. The meat is laid out fresh, not packaged. You know, we come over here, we got packaged meats with worms and all that stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times they doing all kind of stuff to make the stuff look pretty and make us want to buy it and eat it. So it lasts longer and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just crazy. But I would love to see who's 100% natural and winning at their sport. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, I agree with you on the point that human beings are not eating what they're supposed to eat. I was watching this food documentary the other day about cancer and high blood pressure, and one of the points they made that I never really thought about is human beings are not supposed to be eating meat, and you could just tell that based off of our teeth. We don't have canines to be ripping apart raw meat. We have to reheat it, or else if we eat it like that, we're gonna get sick. So just off that, they said that meat is toxic to us, and it causes us to have all different types of high blood pressure, hypertension. You see people getting cancer later in life. So I agree with you on that point. And to the PEDs and other sports, while I don't, I don't judge dudes that heavily if they pop in other sports like they do, like if it would be in boxing. But if I see that you pop, if I see a dude is averaging 25 and 10 and then he popped and now he's a bench rider, I mean, I'm going to come down heavy on you. And I'm going to say that you a cheater. I'm going to say you were never that good. I'm going to say all type of stuff about you because that's what the data shows me. Before we caught you, you was doing all this stuff. You was an all-star, all-NBA. Now you dissing. Now you ain't nothing. So yeah, I mean, I ain't got no problem going down heavy on those dudes. But if you just doing something that might have been maybe you trying to recover faster from an injury and you pop, I don't really care about that type of stuff. Because that type of stuff happens more than you'd think.
I mean, let me ask you guys this: do you guys think that Eddie Futch? I mean, I'm about to call him Eddie. Do you guys think Bo Mack is on a legendary run as a trainer? What do you guys think?
Yes. Probably him and his team should. I think they are doing some major stuff over there, man. I really do.
I mean, legendary. I wouldn't say legendary. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart was what, like 32-1 in heavyweight championship fights. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Futch was, I think, what, 5-3 against Muhammad Ali. Trained fighters like Ken Norton, Joe Frazier, Riddick Bowe. Trained Stewart trained Tommy Hearns. My bad. But Futch also trained a whole host of smaller fighters too. So I mean, Bo Mack, he got a good career, you know. But right now he got Bud. That's the dude that's gonna get him in the hall. Who else he got? Keyshawn is a part of his camp, but he don't train him. Shakur, they're part of the camp.
He trains Keyshawn and his brothers, all three of them.
So Bo Mack is his trainer. Okay.
Yeah, Yeah, they train all three of them kids. Matter of fact, Keyshawn's youngest brother, that dude, that's gonna be something dangerous.
Well. So right now, Bomac has only had what 2 champions.
Don't forget he had my man before Shakur beat him.
He had Jamel.
Jamel, yeah, he had him. He had,
Who is he training now? Is he training?
Still got Steve.
This just don't look like a legendary.
No, he let Eubanks go.
Oh, he let Eubanks go. Okay.
Yeah.
This don't look like a legendary.
He
at
had
least when you
somebody
compare
else.
it to the dudes, I just called out. Those are legendary to me.
Well, he's building a hell of a portfolio. He's not finished yet. It's too soon. But at the same time, he's had quite a few fighters get in touch with his team about training them, fighters that have already been established as well. Not just some he's bringing up from the bottom to the top, but he's got quite a few. You know, a lot of people go to their gym just to get some training, but they don't necessarily be in the corner with the fighters. They stick with their current trainers. But it's nothing for a lot of fighters to go mix in with those guys and get some training going. Shakur is not one of their fighters, but he don't train with them several times.
Yeah. What you guys think about Keyshawn and Shakur saying they'll never fight? Is that good or that bad for boxing?
I think I don't like it. I don't like it. Not only that, I don't believe it. I think at some point they're gonna fall out. I think it's gonna be either Keyshawn is doing better than Shakur and he just feels jealous, and it's gonna start on Twitter and go from there. That's what I see happening. But I don't like it. You know, the two of y'all are not biological brothers. Like I don't want to hear that stuff. Like fight each other.
I think if the bag is big enough, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Hey, the
Like
crazy
that ain't a situation where y'all got the same mom and she got to stay up at night wondering about if her sons are gonna hurt each other. Like y'all need to stop that.
Go ahead,
fight
Doug.
each other.
But the crazy thing is now with Keyshawn seemingly about to fight Edward De Los Santos, saying, hey, he gonna handle big bro work, bro. That's all right. I'm just saying, sooner or later it's gonna get to a boiling point. They're gonna end up fighting. Bro, you can't just avoid an individual because we friends. But that's the selfish stuff that we've heard in boxing.
I don't know. Shakur will avoid you if
we seen Mike Tyson and Riddick both never fight, so I mean it's possible.
Shakur will avoid you whether you his friend or his enemy, Dub.
Evander and Riddick Bowe were real close. They still fought 3 times, you know. Matter of fact, Riddick Bowe used to be one of his sparring partners a few times.
Right.
So,
it's videos of the two of them old as hell right now at Holyfield's gym in Atlanta. They just be sitting there talking crap all day.
Yeah.
Like the two of them is good friends.
They legitimately respected each other, but they said business was business. You know what I'm saying? That's why the fight was there. Now, Evander gave Riddick Bowe that opportunity. So fighters want to be the best, man. They want to be the best. And between 135 and 147, I think we'll end up seeing, if both Shakur and Keyshawn are still doing well at that time, by the time they get, maybe 147, 140, whatever, they're going to eventually have to fight. I mean, that's one of the things that's going on in boxing right now that I love. The way boxing's been going for the last decade and a half, these guys going to have to fight each other eventually. The ones that talking about they ain't gonna fight each other. I can see if it's brothers, but if you know kin to one another, you're just good friends. You either get off the pot or you leave something in it, And they're gonna have to fight eventually. That's what's happening now. If this boxing's being reshaped to where fighters are gonna have to fight each other, they're gonna be getting more to like a MMA type of situation. You ain't gonna be running around talking about you the best of the best and you're not fighting. You dodging everybody's all these challenges,
And you notice they were trying to do the same thing with Abdullah, and Abdullah shrugged that BS off. He said, "Nah, I only got 5 brothers."
Yeah, because I thought that was kind of crazy for Shakur to start saying Abdullah is his little brother. You think he was scared of him or something?
I
He know the
don't
boy
know,
name.
bro. They like I don't know. Like I feel like he said Dev was like his brother at one point. Probably if you go look it up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, old
Yeah,
school. My bad.
they used to be they used to be super cool. Him and Dad, but you know all that changed. You know, him and Tank used to be cool. Shakur and Tank, but you know they ain't been. You know they always want to fight. You want to be the best, man. So it's gonna happen. If Keyshawn's name was as big as Tank or Devin, shoot, man, I bet Shakur would want that fight.
I don't know. He didn't want to get it before. So what changed?
He won't because Keyshawn ain't had no name yet. Shakur's name still rings a little bit more than Keyshawn right now, but Keyshawn catching up like a summer.
Nah, I think Keyshawn got way more momentum than Shakur right now. I think
Like I said,
I think people really
catching
crapping
up.
on Shakur.
His resume ain't as strong as Shakur right now, but he's catching up, just like I said.
Well, who's strong on Shakur's resume?
Well, I ain't talking about. I'm not necessarily talking about individual fights. I'm talking about experience.
Oh, okay,
and,
number of fights.
and the fact of how long these guys' names have been in the minds of boxing pundits as well as casual fans.
Yeah, but you know, Shakur Sanchez kind of changes his tune like every other day. 1 minute he wants big fights, and then 1 minute he doesn't. So I don't know. When it comes to Shakur Sanchez, I never know what he wants to do. He's a wild boy, man.
I didn't catch that.
Did you call that man Shakur Sanchez?
Say it again.
That's what it sounded
Did
like.
you call that man Shakur Sanchez?
Let me talk about the WBC champion.
Amazing.
Did I say Sanchez? Oh, my bad. I meant Stevenson. Sorry, I didn't mean to say Sanchez. Sorry about that. I meant to say Stevenson. Sorry, Shakur Sanchez. I meant to say Stevenson. My mistake.
Keyshawn and Shakur, though, they both have belts, so it's like, listen, all of the champions need to be an option. We as fans, we shouldn't care that they're friends at all, or quote unquote brothers. You both have a belt, so what are y'all gonna do? Just fight a whole bunch of Mandos and a bunch of random guys that y'all voluntarily want to fight? We're not gonna see any unifications at 35. Y'all don't want to fight each other. Tank, all of y'all are just being divas and not gonna fight. No, you got to unify. In order to know who's the best, they have to fight each other. Keyshawn and Shakur, that excuse sounds good, but at some point the rubber has to meet the road. At some point, they're going to have to fight. Whether it's I think it should be at 35, but Keyshawn is looking big at the weight. It might have to be later. I don't know. But Shakur and Keyshawn, it's got to happen. There's no possible way people could just be like, oh, we'll be okay if they end up not fighting each other. All the champions need to fight. Them being friends doesn't really matter. They need to fight, and then like you said, them calling Abdullah their brother, and like quit the nonsense. Let's get these fights going. Let's get it happening. And then Keyshawn, yes, he doesn't have as much experience as Shakur, but I mean, we'd be remiss to say like Keyshawn, he's knocking these guys out. He's more exciting. He's putting a little more life in his hometown fights as opposed to Shakur. When Shakur is fighting. He's clearly, a technician, and I enjoy watching Shakur fight, right? But
he's a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, after
I don't.
that Edwin De Los Santos fight, a lot of people don't want to say it. It is, to me, it's staining Shakur, right? Like Shakur needs a real another breakout performance for me to get back to that stature where where he was before, when he was fighting Jamel Herring, and when he's fighting, we all saw him coming. We were like, oh, he's going to be a problem. Now it's like that Edwin De Los Santos performance. I know he was hurt, and
that's why
they're still kind of.
You got to get. A lot of people don't want to give him credit for the win because he didn't look like he didn't give us excitement.
It was boring.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
It
was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, but you got to understand, if you hurt most fighters are not 100%. Hold on, most fighters are not 100% when they go in the ring. But his hand was hurt. I mean, you gonna look and do so much. Look at Tevin Farmer last week. He put on a hell of a performance, but he was in excruciating pain.
Man, look at he said you a bitch ass nigga. I'm gonna do this and that to you. You gonna say my name in the ring?
Come on,
that
bro.
nigga called him Shakira tweeters in the same night.
The fight.
Terrible.
Look, a lot of fighters
Andre
get
Ward,
too close.
everybody was there.
Hold on,
Floyd
a
was
lot
there.
of
Everybody
a
was
lot
there,
of
and
fighters,
that's how you perform.
and they all said he was hurt.
Oh,
They
that's
all
a
said
fact.
it.
That's a fact, Bella. I forgot about that. Floyd was there too. I think
Yeah.
Floyd walked him out too.
Oh, you talking about the last fight?
That Edwin
The
fight.
last
That Edwin
Del-
fight.
which fight? De Los Santos or which fight?
Yeah,
Y'all
De
talking
Los
about?
Santos.
That De Los
Everybody was
Santos
there,
fight.
and
Yeah.
he wasn't even throwing.
Yeah, but he was hurt.
One hand
Shoot,
was
just
hurt.
like
Yes.
just like Tank was hurt when he fought Pitbull.
What Santos? My whole thing is, if you hurt, shut the fuck up. Don't be talking
No.
like you Marvin
See,
Hagler at the press
you
conference.
may not
Don't do that.
You may not
Don't-
necessarily be hurt during the week of you talking all that stuff, but you can get hurt the 2 weeks before the fight or the week before the fight. It happens.
Well,
It happens.
the
He
thing
was
is,
saying that at the weigh-in. That was the day before.
but,
Well, you
but
can't just
hold
keep
up.
selling
The
the
thing
fight.
is,
You have to keep selling the fight.
but the whole
Okay, if you're
thing
gonna
is,
go
his,
ahead, D-Free. Go ahead, D-Free.
hold up. His grandfather came out and said Shakur hand has been hurt for the last 7 or 8 fights. So you can't use the hand being hurt as an excuse. He
It
came
could have
out
been
and
hurt a
said
little more
his hand
severe,
been
bro.
hurt for the last 7 or 8 fights.
It wasn't
but
He
no
didn't
hand
have a
was hurt.
problem when he
It could have
fought.
been.
He
It
didn't have a
wasn't
problem when he fought Yoshino.
right. It
He
wasn't
fought
no hand
Yoshino,
was
stopped
hurt.
him.
It might not have been hurt as
Edwin
bad.
De Los Santos is Edwin De Los Santos. That's what it was. Edwin De Los Santos is a powerful guy. I
Yeah,
think
you
that
got
he was just being defensively minded, and yes, maybe his hand was hurting, but he wasn't throwing either hand.
No, if I'm being honest, I
He
think
couldn't win. He couldn't win the fight without throwing either hand. He had to throw some
He
hands
wasn't
eventually.
throwing enough. You know what? I'm not
He
saying he didn't
wasn't.
throw a single punch. He was
He
not
wasn't throwing like Shakur.
It was the
He
lowest.
wasn't.
That was like the lowest output in a fight.
I will say
I could expect that.
I do think Shakur was
could
injured.
expect
I do think he was hurt. I just don't like to give him that excuse though, just because I don't like him. But I will acknowledge there was a lot of times he was supposed to cook Edwin, or he could have countered him, and that left hand just didn't come out. So I do think it was something wrong, but still, I ain't gonna give that nigga that excuse
And
when you
I've been
talking
in a
that hot
fight.
shit.
I've been in a fight where I'm right-handed. I've been in a fight with my right hand. I believe my knuckle was broken. I never did go to the hospital to check on it, but I believe my knuckle was broken. And I'm telling you, it hurts like a mother sucker hitting with the injured hand. I know that for a fact. So I'm not gonna take anything from these cats if they got a legitimate injury and they it's proven. I mean, I take my head off to the cat that he didn't say nothing about it until after the fight. Just like we did, I saw when Tank hurt his hand against Pitbull. I saw when he hurt it.
Well,
I can tell when the guy don't
what
hurt the
happened
hand.
to Shakur when he fought that cop though, Santos? What happened there? He said, "I'm gonna whoop you for the hood," and he
I
did.
don't know about the cop. I remember he popped on some dude when he was hanging out with some of his homies. I don't remember being no cop.
He said, "No, that was against what's the African dude named Kaminga? Kaminga?
Action fight.
Yeah. He was a cop, and Shakur was just talking the most stupid stuff possible.
He's selling fight, man. I mean, when he fought Jamil,
Man.
he talked crazy. He talked crazy, but they were good friends.
Man, they
he
fought
talked
in
so
a
crazy.
ballroom. That wasn't no selling no gosh.
That's all right. That's all right. He building a fight. He trying to sell himself to the public as well as the rest of the fans.
Man, he's selling ass to the public because after he talk that shit, he go out there and do nothing.
That's his job. Ali fought. Hey, Ali was the biggest seller of a fight ever. That's his job. Sell a fight.
And Ali performed. Ali wasn't there, whooped ass. What
He did, but guess what? He fought hurt a few times too. I'm gonna tell you something, man. When you on that elite level, it's gonna take a whole lot for you to walk away from a fight. If you on the lower end on these lower promotions and you got certain injuries, you can afford to walk away. But with those big money fights, those fights is gonna really put your name out there, man. You can't just walk away from them things, man, unless you got a severe injury where you have to.
Hey, he did it for Joe Cordina. I don't see why he couldn't do it for De Los Santos, but that's neither here nor there. I hope to see Shakur fight somebody real soon.
He fought the fight, man. He fought the fight, though.
He did. Credit to him. He got the dub. It was boring as hell. He unveiled his Usain Bolt style, but it is what it is. Credit to him.
I can't take nothing from him. He did what he had to do. I mean, I didn't like it any more than anybody else, but he did what he had to do, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, they
to
both
me, when you fight when you fight with an injury, the main thing you use in a fight is your hands in boxing. If you got a good injury to your hands, man, and you still go in there and you can still pull a win off, or you just still fight and make it interesting, I gotta take my hat off to you. I'm thinking about Tevin Farmer. It was so obvious how much pain he was in.
Yep.
He had hurt his hands and his elbow, and he still made a close fight. And man, I mean, you gotta, in order to understand halfway what some of these fighters go through, you gotta have some experience at it, man. A street fight, I don't care what it is, boxing, street fight, whatever. If you ever had to fight hurt, you know what it is. If you ever had to play football or basketball, baseball hurt, you know what it is. I don't have to play basketball hurt. I don't have to fight a fight. And I'm talking about a street fight hurt.
Yeah.
I know what it feel like. Shoot, I'm gonna give. If a guy go in there if he makes it a close fight, or if he wins the fight, I'm giving him credit. I ain't taking it because I understand. I totally understand. I saw a guy, and I know y'all probably saw this same fight years and years ago. I can't think of the guy's name. There weren't no big name guys. One of them was a overseas or whatever. But anyway, guy hurt his shoulder and everything. Like had one arm, and they got a knockout. Won the fight. When I was fighting amateur, one of my homies had a broke finger. Still went in there and won the fight one hand. Yeah. I ain't taking nothing from nobody. They go in injured like that with their main weapon, and they make a fight out of it. I take my head off to them. Period.
Agreed. Shakur didn't make it a great fight though. But back to what BVO was saying, just like Keyshawn and Shakur, yeah, they got to fight. And hopefully at some point it happens. But yeah, Shakur, it's just with the Schofield pulling out. Now he had to fight Padley. The fight before that, I believe, was his last fight before that was Artem Haratunian. I told Dub this the other day. Shakur is gonna have to fight better competition. I understand Schofield pulled out, but I believe he picked Schofield. I believe Schofield was actually ranked in the WBA as well. So hopefully Shakur gets that Cepeda fight. Keyshawn also, hopefully he gets a big fight and can sell out his hometown again. And these 35 guys, yeah, they need to fight each other for sure.
They damn sure do. Yes, they do.
I don't know. I like Keyshawn. Me
too.
You always gotta have that one ignorant nigga in the mix. I like him.
I think Shakur is the ignorant nigga in the mix, or excuse me, the ignorant Puerto Rican in the mix.
Same thing.
Is it? I hear he call himself a brown-skinned Puerto Rican. He don't even say black anymore.
Yeah.
Which fight are we talking about?
You talking about Shakur Sanchez?
Shakur. Yeah.
He called me Shakur. Yeah. Shakur Sanchez.
Nah, Shakur Delgado. Sanchez is a Mexican name.
No.
They all sound the same to me.
Man, all I can say, I like Shakur though, man. I just wish he would, stop being on Twitter, man, and get back to making burritos or something, man. But we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully he fights somebody because he didn't look that good versus that plumber, man. What you think about that, OG? He couldn't stop the plumber.
No, he was an electrician.
Last fight.
Yeah.
Oh, he's an electrician. Okay, my bad.
I think he worked in the plumber and electrician union. I do think he do that.
Well, actually, the blue collar guy didn't finish the fight. Him and his team stopped that fight. They didn't finish the fight. So I mean, but I take my hat off to the blue collar guy. He came in and showed up for a couple of rounds. I think if he was given the opportunity to prepare mentally and have a full camp against a guy like Shakur, I think he would have had a better showing, but I don't think he beat Shakur. But at the same time, you know, on Shakur's record, it's going to show as a TKO.
Yeah. I don't know. Shakur is one of those guys. He talk like Billy Badtail, and then he run. I mean, he get in there and run his ass off. I've never seen that before. He get in there and run his ass off.
I ain't never seen him just really running, man. I've seen him stand there and make some guys miss. Now, when he fought De La Sante, he had to get on it. He had to get on his bicycle because that boy can hit, he can box, and he ain't the one you sleep on. But and being that he was hurt and everything, knowing he wasn't gonna be able to give a whole lot of firepower back. But most of the fights I've seen Shakur fight, I ain't really just seen him running. I've seen him stand there and make guys miss, and then people say it's a boring fight. I've seen him back some people up. So I just ain't really seen him on no bicycle like that on a consistent basis.
You must have turned your TV off then.
No, I check the kid out, man. He ain't running like
a different fight.
No,
That's
sir.
probably what happened.
Or name a fight where he was running a whole lot.
No, Shakur.
That one guy that he apologized for, that guy was a big dude. That guy was strong as something. But he got the W. But other than that,
he's not normally a runner or a mover.
Or a track star.
He normally stands in the pocket and judges the distance. He normally stands in the pocket.
He pulls back.
Now, what I will say, those two guys that were big punchers, he didn't stand in the pocket with them. But everybody else, what's his name?
The cop.
Not the Filigas.
He was a cop.
The big guy he fought at 130.
He was the first one that he apologized for his performance.
That's when he apologized. Yeah.
And actually, to be honest with you, he really didn't need to apologize for that performance because he did drop the dude.
Yeah.
He did drop the dude.
What?
The Elwin De Los Santos, he should have apologized for that one because that was the worst performance I've seen by any two fighters. Forget what Shakur did. Elwin didn't do nothing either. So that was the worst fight by two guys. They put out the fewest amount of punches in a 12-round fight in boxing history.
Yeah, I think the reason he didn't apologize because he was injured. That's what I was going. I thought he was going to apologize after that fight, like he did that one fight we were talking about with the cop. Y'all called the guy the cop, but I think because of the injury is why he didn't apologize. Because
I thought Shakur did.
Not the second, not Del Sante, not that. He might have later, but he didn't that night.
I mean, my whole thing with Shakur Sanchez is I've never seen a dude so entitled, like who hasn't done much. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I know now he's Puerto Rican and he's celebrating Spanish Independence Day and all that. But back when he was black, I liked him when he had the smaller weights, man. But I don't know. I don't like the new Shakur Sanchez. I like the old one. What you guys think?
Shakur Delgado. I mean, it's really boxing fans' fault because when he was coming up, he had all this hype behind him. A lot of people were saying he's this and that. He's going to be the future #1 pound for pound fighter. And as a result of that, he got a big head. He started listening to that hype too much. Then he came up to 135 and he said, dang, these dudes are they're a lot bigger than the dudes I'm used to fighting. And now we just see what it is on top of the brittle hands. So now he's got to employ the Usain Bolt style a lot more. Anytime he get in there with somebody that can really put some hurt on him, that somebody that can really get Shakur respect, he's always gonna run from him and try to box.
That's why I want him to fight Williams Zepeda because it could kind of shut all that up if he goes in there and be the Shakur Stevenson that we saw with Jamel Herring or with Oscar Valdez. It'll shut all that up. Because if he could do that against Williams Zepeda, there's nothing nobody can say about Shakur's performance. It very well could have been the hand. or it very well could have been he wasn't feeling well, whatever it might have been. But we know that William Zepeda is going to come at you. We know William Zepeda is going to throw a lot of punches, and William Zepeda is not a light puncher. So we know what William Zepeda can do, but can Shakur be Shakur versus William Zepeda? If he can, it shut up a lot of critics.
Facts.
I'd have to shut up if he could whoop. If he could really step to William or embarrass him, even if he running
He
away.
couldn't beat, he couldn't beat William if he had one of them little kid bats in his hand. I mean, Sanchez can't beat no doggone Zepeda, man. Come on, stop playing.
Damn.
Hey,
I don't think he could beat Zepeda.
I don't know if he can or he can't. I would love to see them fight, and we will have a definite answer. So I'm not gonna say that he can. I'm not gonna say that he can't. I know it's gonna be a heck of a fight because I know Williams gonna come at him.
Well, you seen his hands, man. They look like peanut brittle, man. His hands look horrible.
I mean, I don't care what the man's hands look like. I don't care what his hands look like. I'm not holding his hand. All I want to do is see him fight.
You a wild boy, free.
No did it. I said no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
And you worry about how the man's hands look. I don't care. As long as that man get in there and fight, I don't care how his hands look.
Well, I don't know if Zepeda. Hey, everybody's trash to Shelton, man. You're a wild boy. Now Zepeda's trash. Come on, he just beat TF, man.
What I'm tripping about, or what I'm capping about?
No, that's Shelton. Shelton calling everybody trash. It must be garbage day today. Shelton he gotta take his trash out. It must be garbage day today. He calling everybody trash.
I don't know, man. This been a great cook, man. I appreciate everybody coming. I want everybody to give me their final burning desires. Give me your final things. Let us know we can find you. We're gonna start with Bella. Go ahead, Queen.
All right, it was good. Good talking to you all on the panel. Thanks BVO for putting this together. But yeah, good fights are happening. Looking forward to seeing Landolfo Delgado versus Elvis Rodriguez, Richard Torres, Tim Tszyu, Joey Spencer. I think even like Joe Joyce and Hergovich, they're gonna fight too. So I'm looking forward to those fights going on. But yeah, salute to everybody on the panel. Hopefully we get the best fight and the best, and we get these fights sooner than later.
Agreed.
All right. You already know we're gonna be back on Monday, BVO. We'll be back on Monday. I mean, we'll probably be back tomorrow to either call the fights or react to the fights. But our regular programming will be back on Monday, and I will be doing a breakdown of the wide receivers on Monday at 6 p.m. on my channel. So I will be doing the receivers on Monday.
Yes,
yeah. Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, some good things happening in boxing to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? We got the New York card coming up. We got Canelo versus Skull. We got Monster. He's gonna be fighting in May in Las Vegas. So great things to look forward to. And yeah, just keep your eye out for Shakur and what he's gonna be doing. Hopefully he fights another big name. Hopefully he doesn't pull out the Usain Bolt style, and we get to have a good fight from him. That's all. Take it easy. Cool. And tomorrow, Guido and Richard Torres. I got my man Torres putting him to. Oh my God, he's gonna sleep him.
Man, Torres got a nice sleeping pill waiting to take right before that fight.
And it's gonna be even more beautiful because he's gonna shut DiFrilio the heck up. That's all.
No, he's not. Rob Jeremy is going to sleep. Rob Jeremy
he said Rob Jeremy going to sleep.
When Guido back touches that canvas, you
come on, man. You the only dude I know that don't like Richard Torres. Free. Everybody like Richard Torres, but you, man.
Hey
Man,
man,
that man is a front runner. That man going to sleep.
but well, we will be back. Yes, we will be back. Tomorrow. I said around 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go on tomorrow, 11 o'clock. For sure, I'm gonna go. That's something I'm gonna cook on. So I will be on Coffee and Donuts tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and we'll be back during the fight hour. We will be back for the fights, right? Ain't that right, bro? We will be.
Yeah, well, I think it's what's his name? Flip versus Joyce. I think it's like at 2 o'clock though.
I almost forgot. Tomorrow, CDK got an interview with Daryl Boone at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow.
What time is it, D?
4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, so make sure y'all come through and check out brother CDK at 4 o'clock. And matter of fact, people, anytime you see anyone that's going broadcasting and doing any content that represents STN, come to check us out, and we really appreciate y'all coming through, chilling out, and some of you guys coming through and chilling with us. But for myself, we will be back next week, 6:30, Coffee and Donuts for Grunner. For those I know who can't get up, check the playback. That's all you got to do. Check the playback. Trust me, it'll be worth it.
What's going on, OG? Go ahead, give us your final words, man. I really had fun talking boxing with you, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I was happy to find you guys. I was doing a run tonight that I normally don't do on Fridays, but I'm gonna be doing it on Friday nights from now on. It seems like, and I'm happy about it. So find some company to like old times. When I was driving on third shift, it was always lit.
Yeah.
So I miss those days, man, and I appreciate the company. I appreciate the conversation. I've been checking you guys out lately. Every now and then I see the show pop up, so I've been just checking into it. But I don't get on or anything because my sleep patterns are different now.
Yeah, definitely get on, man. Support the brothers, man, because shout out to Dub Right Side, man. He probably somewhere making pancakes, man. So shout out to my man Dub Right Side, and shout out to everybody, CDK. Shout out to Crush, the Puerto Rican Free. And like I said, we not hating on Shakur Sanchez or any of those guys. We want to see those guys fight. And keep your eyes out, man. And we're gonna have some fun, y'all. We gone. Peace.
Peace.